Right. So it's
Anyways,
a big
yeah.
mistake when people mistake the map as the territory, right? That's it's a big problem. Okay, it's a map, it's a tool, it has a purpose. There's hundreds of different map projections that serve different purposes. All of them are based off a spherical, all of the projections, right, are based off a spherical coordinate system which originated from taking angle measurements to the sky, to the celestials. How do we know the Earth's not a globe? We went out and tested the Earth over and over again, validating that there's no curvature.
How did you validate there was no curvature?
Well, okay, so most of the surface of the Earth is covered in water, according to the
Yes.
globe, right? According to
Yes.
what we know about. And so it's like 72%, something like that, okay? And we can calculate exactly how much curvature there should be over a certain distance when we're talking about the surface of the water. So if we have 20 miles, for example, we can calculate that there would be approximately 266 foot of curvature over that distance of 20 miles. Okay, then we can go and test to see if the curvature is actually there.
Wait, wait, wait. What's curvature? Is it in
Oh,
meters, in degrees,
like
in
you,
degree meters?
yeah, like what's on the
In
outside of a ball. Curvature would be like
okay,
bending, like the water bending.
okay.
Yeah.
And how would you measure the curvature? Like you sound like we measured curvature and it wasn't there, but what were you actually measuring? How much the
Okay.
horizon went down? What exactly? Your angle to the
Yeah.
sky?
So, the byproducts of the curvature would be a horizon at a certain distance, depending on the height of the observer, and then things
Absolutely.
that are beyond the horizon. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, I'm in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And then things that go beyond the horizon becoming obstructed behind the physical curvature of the Earth.
Yes, which is exactly what happened.
All right. So that when we actually go out and test that, it's what should happen, right? But it turns out that that's absolutely not what happens.
It is absolutely is what happens. You're just pretending you measured it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes,
Okay.
genuinely,
Well,
genuinely. You're
how
saying
about I just present
someone
you with
The
evidence?
horizon is never globe
present it.
curvature.
Yes, please present your evidence because it doesn't exist. What do you mean?
Okay.
The Earth is supposed to curve one way, but we measured it and it didn't because it can't not do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So if it was a globe, it would have to be curving at a specific rate.
And it
Okay.
is
So
curving.
It
okay.
provides a definition of the horizon, which is physical, correct?
Yes, the horizon is when the curvature of the Earth doesn't allow you to see what's beyond it.
Okay. So let's test that. All right. So I'm going to present you with a test right now. Okay. So
You
you can see it.
attach
You can
something?
see a screenshot. Can you see the side chat?
Yes.
Okay. So all right, just hold on a second. Have a look. Have a look at the calculation in the side chat there. It's an Earth curvature calculator. Okay, so first we
I'm
have the distance.
understanding, honestly.
The distance to the object is going to be 11.2 miles. Okay, the height of the camera is going to be 3.5 foot. That would mean the distance to the horizon should be 2.29 miles, and the object that is at 11.2 miles should be obstructed by 52 feet. Right, meaning the bottom 52 feet should be missing. Okay, now let's have a look at the observation.
Okay, listen. A man standing on a sphere observed the physical geometric horizon.
Okay, so this is a guy named Dr. John D. He's doing this observation on a very nice clear day in the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking out at a windmill farm called Rampion Windmill Farm. When he zooms out to the windmill farm, we can see 6 windmills out in the ocean. Okay, they range from 8 to 11 miles away. We're going to focus on one of them. Okay, just the furthest one, just for simplicity. Okay, so if you have a look at the math again, the 11.2 mile windmill it's completely visible, and there's no sign of that horizon at
Where is
2.29
this?
miles. Okay, so just a second.
If you can tell me where
Uh,
exactly is this?
yeah, so I'm going to post some screenshots showing you exactly where it is. It's called Rampion Windmill Farm. It's in Worthing in
And
the United Kingdom. Here's some screenshots of the location. Here's a diagram of the windmills.
And wait, why is Meridius muted?
He's muted because he's highly emotional and disruptive. We can unmute him and see how he goes. So
Yeah,
Meridius,
I'm sorry.
it's okay, man. Look, but just please, just stay on mute while I present the observation. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So here's the observation. Okay, we have a camera height of 1 meter, which is 3.5 feet high. That means the horizon should be at 2.23 miles away, which is 3.4 kilometers. Okay, and all of the bottom portions of the windmills should be hidden behind the horizon, behind the curvature of the Earth. All right, so I'm just going to post a close-up image of what the bottom of the windmills look like. Right, so when it's low tide, we can see the black paint at the bottom of the windmills. When it's high tide, it's covering up that little black section. Here's another image of them close up. Right, now if we have another look at the observation, I'll repost it directly under that. All right, so he's
Do you know the
zooming in.
thing where you're in like a very hot desert and you can see fake water on the street?
Yeah, a mirage. Yeah, we don't see any miraging effects in this.
Mirage.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, so
you
this
can
is
see miraging effects because
Oh yeah,
the
what type
windmills
of
aren't
mirage
in
is
contact
this?
in water. Look,
No,
the
we
windmills
don't see any
seem to be-
miraging effects.
Oh, you can absolutely check the GIF.
Okay,
windmills seem
here's
to
a
be
close
floating
up. Here's a
above the
still
water
shot.
surface.
Where's the miraging effect?
They are literally floating above the water.
How are they floating above the water? You could see the bases
water
of them
surface is
touching
below.
the water.
Yes, you can see the water surface. The black paint ends here. The water surface is lower than there.
No, you can see the water behind them higher. Right?
There
When he
is no
zooms in, you
water
can
behind.
even see a boat. You can even see a boat off in the distance. Okay,
Of course, you can see the water behind them higher, but they aren't in contact with the water.
They are in contact with the water. Yeah, they are. We can see them.
Yes, specifically the ones on the right.
All of them, right? We can see the entirety of all of the windmills touching the water. We don't see any miraging effects taking place. Okay, there's no inferior mirage. Do you know what an inferior mirage is?
No.
Okay, it's when things are displaced lower and we have a mirroring effect. Okay, we don't have that. We don't have any miraging effect taking place here, bro. Look, it looks the same as it looks in the close-up photographs. Right? Do you think there's a miraging effect in this? Do you think this is a mirage? Obviously not, right? Okay, well this looks exactly the same. Yeah, so this looks the same as the zoom footage, right? We can see the water, right? It's just flat. Look at the zoom footage again.
You can share pictures. I can't.
Okay, well, I don't have control of your permissions.
Oh, there are permissions.
Yeah, well, you need to spend a certain amount of time in the server, and then you'll automatically get image permissions.
I mean,
right, so you can see that when he zooms in, there's no miraging effect taking place. It's very obvious that there's not a mirage taking place. Right, so here's some more footage from the video, so you can see that there's no mirage taking place.
Okay, how do you explain this video that I am going to send you? Okay, I can't send anything in the chat. Oh, wait, I can. If you'll please check it out.
Okay.
Yes, another thing. You see, you know, the television that works using having like a receiver dish above your house that points at the sky and receives the
Try not
TV
to
information.
jump around topics, Phase.
No, it is related. It is very related. Okay.
No, you need
know
to get through this one and make sure you're understanding it properly before you go to another topic.
Yeah.
Okay, see the video. If you see the video I shared.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm looking at the video you shared. Okay, so now I have some questions. Okay, so what's the height of the observer? What's the location and what's the distance to the ship?
No, none of this matters now because the ship,
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does.
does
half of the
matter.
ship disappeared. Why is half of the ship not visible? Why?
Okay,
Why is it hiding?
because sometimes if we have warmer temperatures down low and cooler temperatures up higher, it can make it look like things are disappearing from the bottom.
What's this? Is this a theory or what is this?
No. Just go to Google and type in what is sinking refraction.
No, but nothing is hidden.
I can do that here. Okay, what is sinking refraction? Just typing it into
And
Google.
refraction isn't consistent. Refraction isn't consistent. It fluctuates.
Okay, so
The video is very consistent.
did you account for refraction in this observation?
A reflection. You gave me an observation of refraction. It isn't consistent. It looks
No, I
odd.
didn't.
It looks
I
messy.
showed you an observation that isn't able to be explained by refraction, but what you posted, right, matches the definition of sinking refraction. Okay,
It
so
absolutely does not match it because sinking refraction
okay.
has
So let's
these
read out the.
artifacts.
Okay, so what's sinking
Okay,
refraction?
look,
What's
you
See now
shared
you notice
examples.
how you started off nice and chill, and now you're starting to get emotional, and I'm
because
really
I'm saying
chill
something
right
and
now.
you're saying
Notice how I'm
nuh-uh.
not getting emotional with you. No, I'm not
Okay.
saying nuh-uh. I went to Google. I'm trying to teach you about how refraction works according to your own experts, right? But you're not letting me talk because you're highly emotional. So you need to chill out.
I understand.
Okay, so I went to Google. I typed in what is sinking refraction. Okay, sinking is an atmospheric refraction phenomenon where distant objects appear lower, smaller, or compressed below their actual position, often making them disappear below the horizon. It occurs when light rays bend upwards, opposite to looming, which bends rays downward, and is caused by a temperature lapse rate where density decreases slowly with height. Right?
Look.
So if you haven't accounted for this, then you can't say it's Earth curvature, can you?
Okay, listen to me. You shared examples of this refraction in the chat. Okay.
Okay,
and you
what
can see
type
it.
of refraction?
It
What
is-
type of
it is real.
refraction do you think's happening in the example that I posted?
Any refraction, I don't know.
You don't know what you're talking about, really, do you? When it comes
I
to
don't know
optics,
what you're talking about. You because
no, I know
it's
that
not
you don't know what
simpler
I'm
to say.
talking. I know that
No,
this
don't
is the
interrupt me.
difference.
You're interrupting me now.
I know what I'm talking about, right? I'm reading out I just read out the mainstream explanation for your video. Okay, so if you're claiming that the bottom of the ship's disappearing because because it's going behind the curvature, right? I'm just showing you that even according to your mainstream, it could just be because of sinking, right? Sinking refraction. So unless you accounted for that, then you can't claim that is happening because of Earth curvature. Now, I'm not making a claim of Earth curvature with my observation. I'm just showing you that no Earth curvature is detected, and no Earth curvature is ever detected. Right?
Every example of sinking refraction I see shows stuff floating, not stuff disappearing.
No, sinking. Why would it be called sinking refraction if stuff's floating? Right? That would be the
typed in
opposite.
Google,
That would be
sinking
the
refraction,
opposite
and
of
it's
sinking
exactly.
refraction. No, that would be called looming.
Don't interrupt me. Look up sinking refraction and go to images.
I did. I typed in what is sinking refraction.
Okay, go to images, and you will see ships floating in the air, exactly as those windmills in your example.
Yeah, that would be not sinking, right? You're just getting some random. Okay, so what you're getting.
The windmills
Okay,
are not floating in the air, friend.
Yeah, which one do you want to talk about? Which image? Okay, because the images you're seeing, it says looming, towering, stooping, and sinking. And you're getting examples of all of these different effects.
Examples.
Right. There also has to be something physically happening in the environment.
Can you share an example of sinking refraction?
You shared it already.
Faze, I'm trying to get in here. I've just posted you a short video, right? You can watch that. That's an observation of a ship that begins off similar to the observation you posted us, right? But it's got the observer height and the distance, ship location, all that in there. And the observation also is repeated a few hours later. Ship is still at the same distance, give or take, and you can see that the observation of the ship drastically changes over the course of a few hours. This is not anything
the video
to
you
do
just shared.
with geometric Earth curvature.
Yeah, I'll show
And
you some.
that doesn't
I
even
have
look like
some.
the same ship.
Well, it is okay. So I can give you a little presentation on that exact observation right now. Okay, so this is the ship. Okay, it's called the
Yeah.
Mandarin. The Mandarin Arrow is the name of the ship. Okay, so when the guy goes there in the morning, okay, he uses ship tracking radar. Okay, we can see that the ship is anchored. Okay, so it's anchored out in the ocean and it's 12.4 nautical miles away, which is just over 14 miles. Okay, now in the morning, we can only see the top portion of the ship. You can see it's the same ship because it has the same features of the ship and it has the same name, right? It's called the Mandarin Arrow. Now, in the morning, it looks like the bottom of the ship's missing, but if you have a close look at the image, you'll notice that there's actually a mirroring layer right where the horizon and the sky meet. Okay, so you can actually see a gap between the water and the ship. This is textbook definition inferior mirage, okay, or sinking. Okay, now here's it zoomed out a little bit further. So it looks like, oh, wow, it's over the horizon. It must be behind the curvature of the Earth, right? Now, if you look at the video, you'll notice that slowly over the next 3 hours, more and more of the ship becomes visible. Even though the ship's not moving, more and more of the ship becomes visible until 3 hours later you can see the entire ship again. Because what happens is the temperature of the air starts to heat up as the day gets further into the day, right? As it's cooler in the morning, okay, and then it gets warmer and warmer, okay, and the effect of sinking goes away, right? And then 3 hours later, we can see the whole ship. Okay, so this is a real world example showing a ship that looks like it's hidden behind the horizon, but it's not.
Okay, what you just demonstrated is that sinking refraction isn't consistent.
Refraction. There's nothing consistent about refraction.
Yes, but ships disappearing behind the horizon and appearing as they get closer is consistent.
No, it isn't.
Is that possible? Is that possible?
It is very.
Do you think that that's possible? Hey, Face Oak, I want to ask you a very important question. Do you think that that's possible on a flat surface?
To what?
For something to appear to be going over the horizon?
Absolutely not.
Guess what? I just
Okay,
showed
what
you a
if your
GIF of that. Look in the side chat.
Yeah, and there's experts from your own side. We can quote experts from your own side saying, yes, it is geometrically possible where there's no curvature, where there's no physical obstruction for something to appear to be obstructed bottom up.
I understand what you're saying, using refraction and other stuff. However, it is not consistent.
Right.
It isn't consistent. There's a thing
So
with
you don't
consistency.
see a horizon consistently.
Yes, I do. Yes, the horizon is consistent.
No, it's
Ships
not.
leaving in
It's
the distance
ever-changing.
get smaller consistently.
It's an apparent
That's
see it.
your
location.
perspective.
I mean, you either say it's
Right,
perspective or it's refraction or it's something. You need to pick something. I'm saying it's curvature and I'm not changing my words, but you keep throwing
No,
stuff all over the
all
place.
of these factors, and it's nothing to do with curvature. Curvature doesn't exist in reality.
So this is the thing,
Wow.
Faisal. We could sit here and show you dozens and dozens of observations that show you that the horizon is never where it would have to be if the Earth is a globe. In fact, we can see it not just a little bit further away, but thousands and thousands of percent further away. Every single time we're going out doing these observations, we've been searching for one observation, okay, for the last 10 years, right, that matches up with a globe and has had the necessary variables accounted for. It doesn't exist. Now, even your own subject matter experts, like Andrew Thomas Young, for example, say things like this. Okay, so I just put a citation in the side chat. This is from Andrew Thomas Young. Okay, it's a .edu citation. Optics of the atmosphere reports in progress in physics. Okay, atmospheric refraction can bend light rays such that distant objects are displaced vertically, causing parts of these objects to drop below the apparent horizon or become partially obstructed, even though the line of sight is geometrically unobstructed. So he's saying that even though there's nothing blocking it, it looks like it's becoming blocked, but nothing's really blocking it. It's just apparent Okay, it's just an atmospheric effect that can happen sometimes. Now, if you want to claim that you're showing footage of a ship going over the horizon, you should account for this, right? You should count this out as a possibility. And there are no observations that account for this, right? You're not going to find a single one that you can prove that the reason you can't see the bottom of the ship is because it's gone behind the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, can I ask my question now?
Yeah, just a second, unless Facehawk has a response to what I just said, and then you
I
can
mean,
ask your
I
question.
don't have a response to the refraction and stuff, but I have another argument for the curvature of the Earth. But it's just
All right,
with this
we'll
refraction
just
and
hold
stuff.
on to that for a second. We'll get back to you in a second because Meridius has been very patient. So, Meridius, what's your question?
So, Mr. Anti-Globe, I want to believe in the flat Earth, and I want to travel from Japan to USA. Can you show me a map? Will pinpoint a direct line between them? That's
Yoda,
all
you
I want.
there?
Yeah, so
I'm asking you,
you want a
Anti-Globe.
map?
Yes, what's the map of the flat Earth?
You don't need a map to do that. You can just use the stars.
No,
I
but
want a map. I
what does
want
the
a map.
flat Earth
And I'm
look like?
asking Anti-Globe.
Okay, well, what kind of map do you want? Do you want a universal transverse Mercator map? Do you want an azimuthal equidistant map?
Actual map.
Do you
What
want a
does it actually look
Lambertian
like?
conical conformal map?
The first option. Thank you.
A universal transverse Mercator map. Okay. Would you
Yes.
like it centered on the United States or centered potentially on Europe?
Anywhere centered, but it will show me on a flat Earth a line between
No, you asked for a
Japan
map.
and US.
Wait.
You didn't.
Yes.
You
Are
didn't
you
ask
saying
for
the
a
shape of
flat
the
Earth.
Earth
You asked
will
for a
change
map.
depending on the
wait.
center?
Please wait. Allah khalik.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you're
Yoda.
asking for a map.
It's Meridius' turn. Okay.
Yes, Yoda. Yes.
Okay.
I just want a map. A flat Earth map.
A flat Earth map. Okay. So just any map will do.
Yes, please.
Here's a polar projection map, also called an azimuthal equidistant map, that is centered on the ground position of the North Celestial Pole.
All right. This map is accurate. Is the sizes are accurate too?
How do you? I don't know. I don't think anybody
You
knows.
don't know?
No, like nobody knows.
Yeah, all maps are
No.
wrong.
I mean,
All maps are wrong,
if-
right? You
But
just
not
guys,
quickly,
I
just
can
listen to
go
me
up.
for a second. Just hold on a
Yes.
second, right?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
even according to the mainstream, right? You could go on YouTube right now and you find a bunch of videos, right? Just type in why all maps are wrong, and they're going to
but
explain
I'm
to you
asking you
why
for an
all
accurate.
maps are wrong. Okay, so you're not going to be able to validate if Yoda was to tell you that all of the continents and everything are the exact correct size. How would you check?
Right.
Can
You
You
I?
end
tell
up
me.
engaging in
You tell
circular
me. You
logic
know
if
the
you go
surface
from
of
there.
the Earth. You talk about the surface of the Earth.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about maps.
Can I say something
But we
just
need
quickly?
map. But we need map to navigate on this Earth.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course we do. I have no problem using maps. I have no problem using maps with the spherical coordinate reference system on flat Earth either. I can tell you why if you cared.
But they are not all wrong, or like they have some accuracy.
Yes, all maps are wrong, and we don't know to what degree of inaccuracy these maps are.
Then
Why
how
are
can
they
you use
wrong?
them to navigate between two places, man? Like I can help you. I can help you make an argument.
No, you don't need to help me make an argument. What I
You
need
cannot
you to
say
realize
something
is
and
you
you
have
repeat
no
it at the
idea
end of
how
the
maps
sentence.
are made, and I can prove it.
That is true, but I rely
All
on
right, so
people who are like,
you're asking about a subject that you know nothing about to prove that Earth's a globe?
No, but
Like
wait.
you guys don't want us to interrupt.
But I
Let's say
believe
the
in.
most
But I believe the
shit
people.
ever.
But listen, I believe the people who are like believe in globe Earth, and they are 100% sure. All right, about their coordinates
Yeah, they
and
don't
about
know
their
either.
maps, about the sizes. But
Yeah,
here
I
you are
believe
saying
they
all
think they're
maps are
right too.
wrong,
Big
and we
deal.
don't know if they are accurate. How much of them are accurate or not?
They
So
get
it's
that from the
embarrassing.
sky. They
It's
get that from
embarrassing
the
for me.
sky. They
Give
get it from
me,
the sky.
from the sky.
Right, so here's an example, Meridius. Let's say you're out in the ocean. There's no land in sight. How do you know what latitude you're at?
I have to use an GPS or any
You don't have
helping tool.
GPS.
No, I'm not expert on that topic. I'm not expert.
Right.
I don't
No,
know.
we're
So
saying
you probably
you
shouldn't
don't
be
have that.
asking
You
us
don't have
about it because
GPS.
we
No, but
are
I will use the
Listen,
tools that
Meridius,
Globe Earth
I
uses.
am an expert on this topic.
No, you don't have any map. You don't have any map, and you don't believe in any
I
map. So you
just
cannot
showed
make
you a
posted
map.
one.
You
And I
think it's
posted one
wrong.
too.
You don't know how accurate
Link
it
for
is.
navigational
It's
charts.
getting
Meridius,
Why are
I know
people
more
talking
Yeah,
about
over
he's
you?
maps than
flipping
you.
out.
I am an
Why
expert
people are
in
talking over you?
cartography.
Then create a map. Create an accurate map. That's it. That's it.
Guys, when you see your map,
can't.
you look at Australia. Okay, let me just say something, please, and don't interrupt because you guys keep interrupting. Australia, it looks flattened a bit. If someone can easily go and measure the width of Australia and the length and see the ratio, and with that they can prove whether or not this map is correct.
Yeah,
True
okay,
maps
who's done
exist,
it?
and they
Post
are
it,
globes.
show it.
Globe maps are the true
We don't need
maps.
ifs and hypotheticals. Just show
No,
it.
there aren't ifs. They aren't ifs. The real map is
You
the
do
globe. Okay,
understand how you
any map is wrong. When you
verify
say every
if the
information
surface
is wrong,
standing on
because
is
you
curving
can't.
or not.
You
by
guys aren't
directly
verifying.
measuring
You
it,
guys are making
correct?
claims. Look,
You
I'll just say
don't
something
want
quickly,
to
and you
hear
can
what
go.
we have to
You're
say.
spurting
Just say
out.
something quickly before
You're
you
going
talk.
into a
We are
trance.
spurging out,
You're going
obviously.
into a spare trance.
Listen. I'll just
They
say something
don't want
quickly.
to hear what we have to say. They're so angry.
Let me just say something quickly, okay?
They're like,
Uh,
no, it can't be
there
flat.
are two ways.
You're
There are
not
two ways.
saying anything coherent. You are not
I'm just
providing
saying
anything.
something.
Volume.
If you let me, Mr. Rage Bait.
No, you're talking about things you have no idea whether to be true or not
If you let me talk, you will
You have
know, but
no
you're
means
not
to
letting
verify
me.
them.
No, you're not educating us on a topic that you don't know anything
let
about
me-
by your own admission.
If you'd let me speak,
Okay, do you
when you want to learn something,
let's let this guy finish his statements
Okay,
just so we
just
so
let
we
me
can
finish
move
this
the
sentence.
conversation. Go ahead, bro.
It's a statement. It isn't a
ahead,
proof
go
or
ahead.
anything. I'm just saying a statement. There are two ways to gain knowledge. You know, you either see evidence and then you build arguments and proofs with that evidence, or you have an idea and then you go on to look for evidence to prove your pre-existing idea.
No, that's
Okay?
confirmation bias.
That's what you guys
That's
are
called
doing.
confirmation bias. No,
Yes, you guys are in living confirmation bias. You guys keep coming up with new stuff to prove your idea.
You guys
don't
are
take
the
evidence and
retards
build
that think the
conclusions
map
from
is
it.
the territory.
Okay, he's in a fucking spare trance. He needs to cool off, man.
May I?
No, we
May
didn't
I
have
say
an
something?
idea and then went looking for it. We were given the idea that we live on a big spinning ball and we went out to check to see if it's true. And it turns out that it's not.
If I
That's
may.
what we did.
So, guys, for everyone in the room, the map that Yolder shared have Antarctica surrounding everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
I understand that.
That's an snow. Wait, can I finish? That's an ice wall. That's an
No, it's
or
not,
like
dumbass. I gave you a
it's an ice
globe.
wall surrounding us.
Hey,
360.
dumbass.
Calm down. Calm down.
I gave
Calm
you a
down. You are
globe,
starting out.
dumbass.
You are getting angry. Calm down. Control your emotions.
No, you need to be educated. Okay, Yoda educated.
Listen, on that map, it has a coordinate reference system, latitude and longitude. The outer perimeter of that map at 89 degrees south latitude is about 430 miles in circumference, just like the center of the map at 89 degrees north latitude. That is also 430 miles in circumference. I gave you a map depicting a spherical coordinate reference system with a non-uniform scale, which applies from the center to the outermost edge of the map, scaling with distance. In order to use this correctly, you need to apply the non-uniform scale. And what you have at the end of the day is still a globe. This just proves that you have no idea what you're talking about, and I do. I gave you a globe map, and you're too dumb to realize it.
Yep. I gave you a navigational chart, like free online site.
I asked him for a flat
Navigational
map.
chart.
He went to
And
research for it for like 5 minutes.
uniform scale.
This is a flat
And now
map,
he's saying
okay?
this is a globe map. And he's
Now I
saying
will
this-
give you a flat map,
There is an
okay?
ice wall. There is an ice wall on it. Go to the
Yeah,
ice
no
wall.
shit.
Film
I
it.
just described it.
my god.
Oh my
Film it.
god, listen
Film
to
the
this.
ice wall. That's from Game of Thrones. That's from fiction.
Meridius,
I'm ready to give him a
What
flat
the
map
fuck is
now.
this?
bring
Here,
us
would you like a flat
measurements
map?
of
It's
Earth's
called the
curvature.
United
That's what
Kingdom
we need to do.
Ordnance Survey, the British National Grid
Where
System.
is Antarctica surrounding us 360?
Holy crap.
Where is that?
All right, you guys need to Right. I don't know. You guys need to chill out, right? It seems like mutes are very effective with you guys. Let's see if Faceok's timeout has calmed him down a little bit. Faceok, are you calm now?
Shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. See, it works wonders.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. So that's okay.
I mean, not letting someone finish their sentence is absolutely a good way to win an argument, you know?
You already
Yeah.
admitted that you don't know anything about maps. Why are you arguing with people that study maps?
Study maps.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes. Study cartography
Look,
and all of the questions surrounding this topic. You're speaking with people that have been researching these questions for many, many years. Okay? If you don't know about a particular topic, don't pretend you do. Right? Because we all know if you know what you're talking about or not. We just want to have a good faith conversation with you.
I mean, a good faith conversation doesn't include undermining people's knowledge. You know, you keep repeating
this
and
was
your
by
friends.
your own admission.
No,
though.
don't interrupt me.
You
Don't interrupt
admitted-
me.
you
Don't
already
interrupt me.
admitted
You
that
keep saying you and your friends over and over
Okay,
again.
well,
We're educated.
don't-
You're
I
not.
don't
We know
think you're
you're
doing
not.
We
that.
exposed
That's
your
everything you
dumbass
say.
friend.
Meta.
I gave your dumbass
This is
friend a
meta.
globe map, and he was too stupid to realize it.
Well, then where's the real map? Where's the flat Earth map?
There is no real map, and I can give you an example of a flat map using a flat coordinate reference system. It's called the United Kingdom Ordnance Survey, the British National Grid System. It's not the only one. There are many, many,
what
many
was
others.
that buzzword? Like, if you'd include what you just said, I would highly appreciate it.
Okay. Would you like an official UK government website on it? No?
What?
Point is, it's not something that we're attempting to provide to you. We're trying to show you like firsthand, real world geometric measurements, right, of the surface itself.
I mean, you say there isn't a real map, but I mean, you can build a map of anything
Maps
if you have.
are irrelevant.
You
Maps
keep
are
misrepresenting face.
maps are irrelevant to our claim. It might
They
be
are.
important to you. It's not really
Our claim
important to
is
us
about the shape of the Earth.
for the basis of our claim. It's a
Your
side
claim.
issue.
We are having a conversation about the shape of the Earth. You saying a map
No,
isn't.
you are. You claim a shape. We don't claim a shape.
Yeah, flat's not a shape.
Yeah, and a spherical coordinate system is not the surface of the Earth.
Sorry, what? It is. I mean, you're saying it's either
not.
a globe.
It's a model based off of the sky. Like I asked your dumbass friend who spurred out here, I said, if you're out at sea, how do you get your latitude? He said GPS.
Using
I
the
said,
star.
no, you don't have access to GPS. How do you do it? Yeah, you use a star.
Well, then, how do you explain that
Use
we
a
see
star.
different stars in Australia than those in North America?
Oh, so
They
you
don't
don't
see
want
the
me to
same stars.
explain this to you. You're just moving on to another portion of this topic.
I mean, yeah, I say proof, and then you keep showing logical fallacies right and left that I can disprove because you won't allow me to disprove them. So I move to the next point.
Yeah, that's called gish galloping. That is the fallacy because you're not allowing this to go to its conclusion, and you're thinking that if you can move the conversation from one point to another, that you win the argument, and that's fallacious.
I mean, that's on you. Like you just
No,
you said
it's on
exactly
you
what
because
doing.
you're not allowing us to finish this topic before moving on to the next. I can educate you on how maps are made, but you don't want me to do it because you don't want a flat earther to teach you something because you're too arrogant. Yeah, you're an arrogant jackass.
Yes,
That's what's going on right now.
Please go ahead.
And what's funny is you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
No,
like
the
whole audience
you
hears
have a method. Go ahead. I'm telling you to go ahead. How are maps made?
Well, conventionally, maps that use the latitude and longitude system are made from observations of the sky. That's how you get the coordinate reference system. First, you do the survey of the ground. Okay, first you're going to survey landmarks. You do what's called planar surveying. You take objects of interest and you measure azimuthal and elevation angles between them, and you build what's called a triangulation network.
Amazing.
After that, you set up a control point using what's called an astrogeodetic plumb line. You set up a control point by opening a nautical almanac or an astronomical almanac to find how the stars should appear at a certain point of time throughout the year. You go to that specific place where you set up the control mark from the map that you're making using the surveys that you just done. You get a control point by using the stars. This puts that position, that control point, at a latitude and longitude. You then go through the rest of your triangulation network using the nautical almanac in order to set up other control points under the same system using the stars. And this effectively creates a bend in the planar survey
accurate,
that you've done, a bend that conforms to the spherical surface of the sky that you imagined is real. And you call that a globe.
But it's accurate. If you're saying this, it is accurate, right?
It's accurate up to a point.
I mean, if it's accurate, why can't we have a real map of the world?
A 69 by 69 mile square of Earth is 99.997% flat, as it is on a globe.
Okay.
So it's accurate up to a point, okay? As you get further and further out using longer distances,
there accurate maps
the accuracy diminishes in question. Nobody knows what the true distance is between New York and Paris, or Los Angeles and Tokyo.
No one does, indeed. But
nobody does.
You said that the difference is small. You said 99.7%
small
flat.
Scales,
that's better than a
small.
pancake.
Statistically insignificant between flat and globe. Correct.
Okay, so that doesn't explain why we don't have an accurate map. It should be inaccurate by a slight difference. It shouldn't be like, oh, this is a map, this
over
is a
small
completely
distances,
different map,
it doesn't
and they're both
matter.
correct.
That's exactly right. Now, over large distances, it does matter.
That's not what you said.
I said over small distances, it's statistically insignificant. To like 99 point. So if you were to take a 69 by 69 mile swath of the globe or of a flat surface, they are 99.997% accurate to one another.
Oh, okay. Let me
99.977%. Excuse me, 99.9 or 99.77% accurate.
So you're saying that like long distances, it is no longer that accurate. So we can't make an accurate map.
No, nobody can make a fully accurate map for anything. That's absolutely correct.
Okay. So when a pilot flies from New York to Paris, does he like eyeball it? Does he eyeball the distance?
No, he's using a map. So guess what happens? He's flying over a flat Earth.
What on earth
are you talking about? You said it wasn't
accurate.
He's flying over a flat Earth, but his screen shows him a spherical coordinate system, a globe. So he gets to pretend that he's on a globe.
A flat Earth is far easier to map and far easier to transverse. So it should be easier to make a map of it. But here we are. We have spherical maps. That is a globe, actually.
Because you're saying that everyone's believed we lived on a globe for hundreds of years, and nobody's bothered to change the convention from latitude and longitude. But I'm here to tell you, in our modern society, we actually do have flat maps. We have flat coordinate reference systems. In fact,
you just said we don't.
In fact, I'm going to give you an example of one. Okay, it's called the Gaia Star Tracker, GAIA Star Tracker. This uses a Cartesian coordinate reference system for navigation that does not require a globe.
I mean, if you look it up,
it's used in airplanes and drones and satellites today. It uses the stars just like celestial navigation, but it does not treat the star field as a gigantic rolling ball, but rather a box full of vectors that is observer dependent, that cannot be triangulated in 3D space.
FYI, Yoda, this guy claimed to be an aerospace engineer.
I'm not claiming. No, I'm genuinely.
Oh, really?
You said that in the side chat.
Oh, we're just getting started. Would you like to dig into how air data inertial reference units work?
Inertial reference units?
Yeah, inertial reference units, like on the Boeing 777. I can tell you all about it, how it works.
No, I don't. Because it isn't relevant.
Well, it is relevant because this is what's creating a globe on the computer for the pilots to believe in.
No, look, if the Earth is
Yeah,
flat,
the ADIRU, the inertial reference unit, actually measures Earth flat as the airplane flies, and then uses a geodetic datum to convert those flat measurements into a globe in real time to conform to WGS84 and GPS systems.
If you'll allow me to make a silly example, like a very silly example, okay? Imagine you're on a Minecraft world, okay? Minecraft, like it's a silly example, okay? Give me space, okay? A Minecraft world, you want to get from point A to point B, and it's a straight line. But no, you go ahead and you make it a sphere in order to make it easier to read. But it isn't any easier to read. You know, we make predictions.
Nobody does great circle distances in real life.
What?
Yeah, nobody travels great circle distances in real life.
What are you saying? Of course they do. Like I mean, show me the path of the airplane from New York to Paris. What does it look like on a projection? It looks curved, but on a sphere, it looks straight.
Well, it's because they're using a projection. Even the globe is a projection of the flat Earth. Do you understand that?
Oh my God, look.
Yeah, the globe is a projection of the flat Earth. Like I described before, when you build a map, you do planar surveys, and then you project it into a spherical coordinate reference system using the stars. And not just using the stars, but using your interpretation of the stars as a curved surface, which it may not be.
Oh, hear me out. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, okay? That's like absolutely logic 101.
Yeah,
there isn't anything wrong with that. Yes. And on a sphere, the shortest distance between 2 places on a sphere is the great circle.
Yeah, how do you know the sphere exists in reality?
Let me finish. I'm not proving anything right now. Okay, but it's the great circle. On a flat plane, on a flat Earth, you don't need to do the great circle. You just take a straight line. Okay?
Right.
But why is it that on every flat map, the line is curved? The line
because they're using a projected curving surface instead of a true flat surface. Because they're using latitude and longitude.
No, you're just saying because they're using plastic polyethylene. That's unrelated.
No, because they're using latitude and longitude. That's a geodesic.
They're using latitude and longitude. For what? What does that do? They're using Bluetooth. They're using GPS.
Listen.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
So
I have to go to a meeting.
There's a path that they. Well, I just wanted to quickly add. Look, there's a path that they actually take in reality. Okay. And then there's what they portray it to be on a globe. And then there's a projection of that onto a flat map.
Mm-hmm.
You have to show beyond all doubt that the path that is presented to you on a globe is what's actually taking place in reality, and you will never ever be able to.
I mean, the flight from Australia to South America passes by the South Pole. If you look at any projection, that would seem super illogical, but on a sphere, it is truly the shortest path. So how do you explain that? Why do they pass over the South Pole? Because of the scenic view? Like why?
No flights go over the South Pole, dude. No one has done that.
No, I can share one right now.
No, you're wrong
Australia
about
to South
that.
America?
You can get cooked on that point if you want to. If you want to go down that route, we're happy to do that. But just quickly have a look in the side chat. Okay, just to give you an example of what T-Dub was talking about. Okay, so the top half of the image, that's a Mercator projection. Okay, if you plot out the flight path on the Mercator projection, it looks like it's taking an arc, right? But if you have a look down at the map below that, right, which is an AE projection, that same path is just a straight path, right? It's a straight line because it's been mapped out on a different projection, right? These are all map projections based off the sky. Okay, there's hundreds of different ones, and the flight path is going to look different on all of them. Okay, but they're just projections.
The flight path looks straight on a sphere.
No, that looks straight on an AE projection.
What's an AE projection?
It's an azimuthal equidistant polar projection map. right? Like the one that
Mhm.
here I've got a. Okay, so here's a ton of flight paths all plotted out on an AE projection. Okay, a lot of flat earthers say this is the flat Earth map, right? I disagree that this is the official flat Earth map. Okay, but here is the map, and here is a stack of different flight paths mapped out on it. Essentially, most of them take pretty much exactly straight lines between locations. Now, if you put these same paths onto a Mercator projection, they're going to look like they're taking arcs.
Wait, are
Right,
you crazy? Like what? A
Are
flight
you
from
crazy?
no, I'm sorry. I threw that out there. Because the picture looks funny. Okay, going from South Africa to Australia passes through China. Like what?
You guys really need to understand what map
No,
projections
there's
are.
yes, but what's the shortest distance? Okay, because right now the shape of the Earth that you're defending is formless. You know, there is no
No
shortest
one
path.
said
There
that.
is no
No one
true
said
shape.
that. No one said that.
I
Listen.
mean, where is the
Listen.
map where all the lines are the shortest?
Okay.
What do they do to pick the shortest path?
It's the map.
You know?
The map that I just posted is the one where all the lines appear the shortest. Right, but you still need to
The
understand
map
how
that
coordinate
you.
systems work.
I mean, isn't this map that anti-globalist posted? Oh, you're anti-globalist. I'm sorry, I didn't read your name.
Listen, bro,
Okay,
you too hung up and caught up on maps. Flat Earth is not a map.
How is it not?
Flat Earth
I mean, it isn't a map.
It isn't. It's not our
Okay, look,
argument.
it isn't a map.
Our
But why
argument.
don't
Hey,
we have a
listen,
map of it?
listen. Because it's not our argument. It's not our focus.
It doesn't matter
We're
if it's your
trying to
argument or
explain.
not. You should
Hey,
have a map
listen,
of your
bro. You're
world.
too hung up on this whole idea of being able to view the Earth from a vantage point that you'll never have. Like, this is what it would look like if you were like 50,000 miles away. No, that's impossible. We're
How
trying
is
to
it
explain
impossible?
to
Why?
you because you
Not
will never
because,
see it
not
like
because.
that.
Oh my God!
You will never because
Your
you will never
argument is
see it
just
like that.
because.
Bro, I just told you. No, I told you because you will never see it like that.
I mean, you literally gave me the argument. Like, I'm sorry, but I finally can formulate it better. If I go up 1,000 kilometers
No,
or
go to a
3,000
lake. Don't
kilometers.
go
Yeah,
up.
you
Go
never
to
asked
a
if
lake
Okay,
and
1,000
test
miles.
to
stop. Wait,
see if
Let me,
the
let me.
surface
Okay,
is curving. No, bro.
don't
No.
interrupt
Listen.
me, please, for
Let's
God's
get.
sake.
No, I am going to interrupt you because you want to go to these red herrings. It's
Yes,
irrelevant
because you
to our
can't prove
point.
them. I can prove other stuff, but you can't prove this. You don't have a map of the
Yes,
world
we
because it doesn't
can.
exist
DJ
flat.
did. DJ did with you already.
You keep saying, okay, this is the map, but then you say, oh no, this isn't the map. There is no accurate map. And I'm asking you, what does the world look like?
Oh my
What does it
God.
look like for you?
You're too
We're
hung
Okay,
not
the
up
world
on
claiming to
must look
maps.
know.
like something.
We're not
Yeah, hold on
claiming
a
to
Must look
know
second.
like
the
something.
shape of the Earth.
Hold on a
We're not
second, dude.
claiming to know the layouts of the land and how all the oceans are configured and all that. We're not telling you that. We're trying to tell you that across large bodies of water, the surface isn't curving. And it has to be if the Earth is a globe. That's
Let me
our
just add.
claim.
Let me just add to what T-Dub was just saying. Okay, we're not claiming to know the shape of the Earth. Flat Earth is not a shape claim. You're claiming to know the
How
shape and
is it
size of the
not?
Earth. Flat is the description of a surface. Like you can have a flat surface, you could have a rigid surface, a bumpy surface, right? That kind
Okay.
of thing. It's a descriptive term for a surface that's not curving. Okay, that's what we mean in the context of flat Earth. Now, people hear globe Earth versus flat Earth, and they try to think of the globe as a flat disk or something like that. We're not claiming that that's what the Earth is. Okay, we're talking about when we go out and empirically test the surface of the Earth, no curvature can ever be detected, and this has been done thousands of times.
Okay. You say that when you measure the curvature of the Earth at a lake of water, no curvature is measured, right? Which means what?
That it cannot possibly be a globe.
Then it is what?
It is a flat topographical surface of unknown size and dimension.
I mean, look, my only question is, and it is a logical question. You can't tell me it isn't a logical question, okay? And I said it, and I'm going to say it again. If I go up like 1,000 kilometers, what will it look like?
You can't do
It
that.
isn't hard. Yes, you
You
can.
don't know. No, you don't know,
Yes,
and
you
you've
can.
never done that, and you cannot do that. If you wanted to go up 1,000
mean,
kilometers right now, you would not be able to do such a thing. In fact,
based
it's
on
not
what?
even illegal. Well, based on the Outer Space Treaty, based on logistical problems, how do you
What?
think you could get up 1,000? How high did you want to go? Sorry,
1,000 kilometers, yes.
1,000 kilometers. You can't go up 1,000 kilometers.
Because
How are you going to go up 1,000 kilometers? The highest we
in a
can go
rocket.
is up on. You can't. Okay, so you're not allowed to independently launch a rocket. Okay, you're not
Yes,
allowed to do
but
that.
the
No, there's something
companies
called.
did
Hold on.
launch rockets.
It's not legal to launch anything above a certain height, which is about 100 kilometers or something like that. Okay,
You
you
are
would need to
correct,
get.
yes.
Yeah. So it's called the Outer Space Treaty. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you're not allowed to freely do any of that thing, right? So that's why nobody's ever done that. Okay, you're not allowed to launch up your own satellite. In fact, you're not even allowed to launch up a camera past a certain height because they say it's a national security risk. Okay, so you're not able to do this. What you're able to do is you could go up on a plane, 40,000 feet maybe. You're just going to see a flat horizon. Then you could send up a weather balloon to about 120,000 feet. That's the maximum height, really, that you can send up a weather balloon. And from that height, you're just going to see a flat horizon as well. So you're not able to test that. What we can do is just test the surface of water for the curvature that would have to be there if the Earth's a globe.
Look. I have 1,000 proofs that the Earth is a globe, but you only focus on this curvature of water because you have some it's a refraction, it's something, it's the horizon.
No,
But
you brought up
you have.
refraction.
I didn't bring up refraction. I came into the argument
Yes,
of
you did.
refraction
You
because
brought up
you guys
miraging,
couldn't
which is
leave it.
refraction.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
you
leave the
did. You
argument.
said
I was
it's a
like, okay,
mirage,
you
like
won.
in the desert. Look, this is the thing. Okay, do you agree with this logic? Okay, over 70% of the surface of the globe is said to be covered in water. Yeah, we can agree that that's the claim.
Yes,
Now,
yes, absolutely.
if that water's not curving, then the Earth's not a globe. Okay, so if you want to make a claim that has a requirement for the water to be curving, and we can already validate that it's not curving, all of your claims are invalidated because the foundation of your claim is invalid because you don't have the prerequisite of the claim, which would be the curving water. That's the one thing that anybody can go and test easily and cheaply. This can be done over and over and over again. Okay, and it's not curving. We've had teams of field engineers go out with a $30,000 laser, shooting it over huge distances and hitting their target. Right? These are not jokes, these tests. These are real tests that are being done, and these are all documented. Most people just aren't aware of this.
Well, hey, I don't believe anyone can shoot a laser across the ocean. Just like you say, I don't believe anyone can send a rocket to the space.
Okay.
Because
Well, this is.
that's
Well,
what your
hold on a
argument
second.
is.
No, it's
Anyone that
not.
disproves
It's
my
not that.
argument is a liar. That's what you said.
No. Now you're being
Yes, that's what you
disingenuous.
said.
No, you agreed
No,
with me that
I'm being genuine because
there's something called the Outer Space Treaty. Okay, you can look it
what's
up
the
right
Outer
now.
Space Treaty? That private personnel
You
cannot
pretended
put
like you
stuff
know
out there.
go online and type in what is the Outer Space Treaty, and you can read all about it. I could teach you about it if you want. Okay, I think
Okay,
it was.
do you
I
want
think
to stay
it
with
was
this?
signed. It was formulated in the '60s. Okay, the
Mhm.
country signed it.
I know it.
And
I know the Outer Space Treaty. I've heard it
oh,
before.
you
I
just
just
said you
don't know all of
didn't,
the
but
details
now
about it.
okay, well,
I know it. No, I
maybe you
said
should
I
look
did.
into that. Okay, well, this is the thing. Okay, you can legally go out and shoot a laser across 40 kilometers worth of water. Okay, but you're not allowed to shoot a rocket up like you said. You can't go up
Well,
1,000
what about
kilometers like you
private
said.
companies, other countries than the US? Okay, the world isn't just America.
So
There's
you can't
China. There's the Soviet
right. So
Union.
you can't
They sent rockets.
There's no place called the Soviet Union, bro.
Nah, you're crazy. Are you serious?
It's Russia. It's called Russia, dude. It's not the Soviet
I
Union.
meant when the Outer Space Treaty was made. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Cool. So you can't validate any of that. You just have to have faith in the government agencies, right? Like the NASA, for example, who obviously faked the moon landings in the 60s. Obviously. Right now you
Do you
have to put
believe?
your it's
Do
not
you believe? Wait, just one
what?
second. Do you believe that the NASA and Roscosmos, the Russians, and the Chinese Space Agency are all going to agree on one thing? Do you think they ever agreed on anything?
Yeah, they
They
share
never,
a space
ever agreed
station.
on anything.
They literally
No,
share
China
a
isn't
space
allowed to
station.
go to this International Space Station. China is banned from
Yeah,
the International
Russia
Space
and
Station.
Russia and America. These countries are always have trade agreements with each other. Okay, when it
Yes,
comes
but
to outer space, yeah. So more than one person can lie about something.
okay,
Okay,
listen. On the topic of outer
never
space,
landed a man on the moon. Russia's never landed a man on
China's
the
been
moon.
to space
America.
up to 400
Oh my
kilometers.
God! Yeah, cool. How you can't validate that, and we can check that they haven't done that because it's impossible. It's a second law of thermodynamics violation. That's a whole other topic. Okay.
No, wait.
You can't
I want to
validate
go
it.
into that.
Okay,
I
you're a
want to
man
go
of
into that
faith,
because I
aren't
don't
you?
believe you. What do you mean violation of the
Okay.
second law of thermodynamics? That's just you just made that up.
Yeah, it is. No, I didn't.
No, it
Do you know
isn't.
what it
Go
is?
ahead. Go into detail. Please go
Yeah,
into
entropy.
detail.
Okay. So you can't have a high pressure system like we're breathing right now. We have 14.7 psi gas pressure at sea level. Okay, and they say that outer space is a 10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum. Okay, that goes against the
What?
second law of thermodynamics. It goes against
Wait,
entropy. You cannot
what's
have
that number? 10 to the power of negative 17 of what?
torr. It's a torr rating. It's
Oh, yes, pressure
powerful.
reading. Yes.
Yeah. So you can't have a high pressure system inside a vacuum chamber. Right? You can't have what happens?
That's no different from a high pressure and a low pressure system. That's actually no different.
What are you talking about? It's a high. Look, let me show you an example
What's
in
pressure?
the side chat.
Okay, let's go into definitions. What is pressure?
Okay, the force
Gas
exerted.
pressure. Pressure is force over area. That's pressure. But
Okay,
we're talking about gas pressure. We're talking about gas pressure.
Okay, gas pressure. Okay, gas pressure. Gas pressure is the molecules of air slamming into your object. Okay, whatever that object may be.
No, that's not
Okay,
the
imagine
definition.
you have.
Read the definition out correctly.
It is the
It's
definition,
the
man.
force
What are you talking
exerted
about?
of the gas molecules when they bounce off each other or the walls of their container.
That's exactly what I said.
Right, so you need to have a container to have gas pressure. It's in the definition.
Okay, listen. I have a container of a gas cylinder. Okay, filled with pressurized oxygen. You know, like the
Why do
ones they
you-
have in the hospital.
Yeah, why do you need a container to have the gas pressure?
Listen to me. Listen. Let me keep going. You don't need the
Okay.
container. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, you don't. When you fill it with oxygen, okay? Because have you seen the experiment where they suck the air out of a container and it just collapses under the weight of the atmosphere?
Yes.
Well, then there is pressure outside of the thing, you know.
Yes, we
So
have
pressure inside.
pressure. We have
pressure-
atmospheric pressure.
Presses
Okay,
on
but
all sides.
to have a gas pressure
Yes, yes.
system, you need to have a container.
Yes.
Okay, hold
pressure
on.
from
Look
the
in
inside.
the side chat. Look in the side chat. Okay,
Mhm.
so here's a demonstration. Okay, in the top chamber, we have a vacuum. Okay, that could represent outer space because they say outer space is above us and it's a vacuum. Okay, and now at the bottom, we have a gas pressure system. Okay, you could think of that like the Earth and the air that we're breathing right now. We have measurable gas pressure that we're breathing right now. And then they say space is a vacuum. Okay.
Okay,
now,
so you think the air on Earth should be
don't
sucked
try to
into space?
guess. Don't try to guess what I'm going to say. Just listen to me and then respond after I'm
Okay.
finished. Okay. So
Absolutely.
we have the high pressure system and the vacuum separated from each other with the valve. Okay. Now click the
I see.
video, and what you're going to
Yes,
see is entropy taking place. Right. This
Mm-hmm.
is the second law of thermodynamics. Demonstrated what happens. It's a natural law. It happens always. Okay. So as
Yes.
soon as
Okay.
he,
Listen.
hold on. Let me finish. I'm almost done. and then you
I'm
can
sorry.
reply.
Because I've
Okay.
seen the video. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as soon as he releases the valve, right, the high pressure, the gas instantly fills the available space because that's what happens with gases. Gases fill space. That's
Yes,
why if you pop
absolutely,
a car tire, the gas is going to rush out of the car tire and try to equalize with the low pressure system. The high pressure is always going to go to the low pressure system. It's never going to be the other way around. This is a natural
Indeed.
law. Yeah, now you're saying
Indeed.
this happens. You're saying that this happens without a container.
Okay, you made your point. You want me to go on?
Yep.
Okay. In an airplane, why is it that if the door of an airplane is broken or that the window is broken, that air rushes outside of the airplane? Why does that happen?
Because the airplane is a container.
Yes, and the pressure outside is lower than the pressure inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why
Yeah.
the air rushed outside the airplane. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so at 11 kilometers high, which is where airplanes fly, the pressure is lower than sea level. Okay?
That's right.
Okay, so if you just keep going higher and higher, the pressure should get lower and lower and lower.
Well, we can only test the pressure up to about 40 kilometers. Because
Yes, but it keeps
barometers.
getting lower. Any
No,
logical mind will tell you that
no.
it will keep
We've
getting lower.
spoken. We've
Why?
spoken to
But because no, let me continue. Why is the pressure high at sea level and low above? Why?
Okay, with
Why
the
is that?
gases, the gas because it's hotter and the gases are being created at sea level. That's where the gas is created.
No,
All of the.
it's not
okay.
because of that.
Well, is that where the gas is created? All
The gas isn't created or destroyed. The amount of gas on Earth is stable.
Gas
it's static.
is okay.
It
So
doesn't change.
80% of the oxygen in the air
Hey,
is created in the ocean by sea plankton. We have gas cycles.
yes,
We have
it
nitrogen
never leaves
cycles.
the Earth.
What do you mean it never leaves the Earth?
Yes, it turns into CO2. It turns into hydrocarbons.
Yes,
It
but
turns
it's
into other
constantly
stuff, but
being
it doesn't leave.
produced. It's a dynamic system. It's constantly being produced. Over 99% of all of the gases that make up the atmosphere are created at ground level.
They aren't created. They just. I mean.
Yes, they are.
Oh my God.
Okay,
they
let's
aren't
go.
created. Where does it come from? Okay, the second law, the first law of thermodynamics. You said the second law, the first law of thermodynamics. What does it say?
Where is
the first law of thermodynamics? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
It doesn't mean that
true or not?
that the gases aren't being generated at ground level.
You are saying that matter is being generated
everything
out of
cycles, dude.
Nothing
Everything cycles.
Dude, you missed it. He's okay. DJ didn't tell you that new gases, new matter is being created. Is that what? Okay, you missed it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So this is straight from. Hold on, bro. This is.
Go ahead.
This is your own mainstream science right now. So oxygen, for example, oxygen is primarily produced through photosynthesis by marine organisms. Okay, including phytoplankton, algae, and bacteria, which generate over 50 to 70% of Earth's atmospheric oxygen.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, so 50 to 70% of the oxygen is being generated at the surface level or under the surface level in the ocean, right? Just like your mainstream says, right? So you're incorrect about that. You've been incorrect about most of the things you've said since you've come in here.
No. What was I incorrect about?
You said gas isn't being produced at ground level.
Not being generated. Generated. You said generated. There is a difference between produced and generated.
Stop talking for a second. Let me read it one more time. Because it literally says the word
I
generate.
understood it. No, I actually understood it.
Okay, do you know what the word does generate mean generated?
Oh my God.
Does generate mean generated?
I understand,
right,
yes.
So listen.
Yes.
So oxygen is primarily produced. Produced also means generated. So oxygen is primarily produced through photosynthesis by marine organisms, including phytoplankton, algae, and bacteria, which generate over 50 to 70% of Earth's atmospheric oxygen.
Okay, then you were going to make a point about that.
Yeah, so obviously where the oxygen is constantly being generated, you're going to have more of it. Yep. Okay, even the definition of gas pressure says that to have gas pressure, you need to have a container. It's in the definition. You wanted to talk about definitions.
You can look it up. Okay, you love looking stuff up, so you can look it up.
I don't need to look this stuff up. I don't need to look this. You're the one that should look stuff up. You're the one that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Okay, when you go under the ocean, the lower you go under the ocean, pressure increases, right?
Yes.
Is it because water is being generated at the bottom?
No, it's because of the column of water directly above the point where the pressure reading is being taken.
Well, that's exactly the same thing with air.
No,
there is less air above you, so there is less air pressure. So the air above you will keep decreasing.
No, there's different states of matter. Okay, so there's liquids, solids, and gases. Okay, so gases behave very much differently than liquids and solids. Okay, so gases, if you look up the definition of gas particle movement, okay, it says that gases move at random in all directions. They don't have a downward bias. They don't have a downward vector. They move at random in all directions, right? And a gas particle will move in a straight line between elastic collisions. Okay, so it doesn't behave the same as water behaves at all. It's completely different.
Sorry. They're both fluids. The only difference is that the density of air is variable and the density of water is almost static. So the density of air being variable allows it to expand. That's why we have lower pressure air.
Does water expand in all directions and move in straight lines?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So it's different. So it's not the same. Even though they're both considered fluids, they're completely different.
Scientifically, if Earth was flat, we'd be pulled to the center of the mass. So, no.
Yes.
No, hold on a second. Okay, no, because we're not claiming a flat planet in outer space with mass attracting mass gravity. Mass attracting mass gravity is a globe Earth, right? That's what you have to explain how you can have bending oceans stuck to the outside of a globe. We don't have that issue. Okay, we're not saying that we have mass attracting mass gravity. Okay, and that the Earth is a flat disk. Hold on, don't interrupt me. I'm talking to the other guy. Don't interrupt me. It's a concept. Okay,
please elaborate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
what kind of concept do you think though? Like, what kind of?
So we go with what we experience and can test in reality. So we go with empiricism. Okay. So what I would say is that I experience the Earth kind of like the floor or the foundation of the system that we live in. Okay. When we test the surface of the water, it's flat over large distances. Okay, if it were a globe and gravity were real, it would have to be curving. Okay, I also know that we have gas pressure, right? And according to the definition of gas pressure and gas laws, to have gas pressure, you must have a container. So I would say that we live on a flat plane, right?
Gas pressure.
That's contained and that is also motionless.
No, gas pressure isn't about having a container. You know, when you hold a flat plane that is flat, not a container, not anything, there is atmospheric pressure on both sides of the plane.
You yourself earlier agreed that it requires a container, and you wanted to talk about definitions.
A difference in atmospheric pressure requires a container.
Yeah, gas pressure requires a container. You just said
difference in gas pressure, a differential in gas pressure. But gas pressure exists whether or not
according to the mainstream definition of gas pressure.
What's the mainstream?
Okay, the mainstream, the agreed upon mainstream science that you believe in that tells you that the Earth's a globe with gravity and gas laws and all of this kind of thing, right? That says that gas pressure is defined as the force exerted per unit area by gas particles colliding with the surfaces of their container. You agreed with this earlier. Now you're kind of like changing your story, which is kind of weird.
I'm not changing my story. I was going to explain why space stations exist, but then I
don't want explanations. I already know the explanations. Okay, I want validation of explanations, not explanations.
Quick question. I'm sorry.
You claimed that a vacuum is impossible, but you didn't provide proof. You keep doing this, but when I do it, you go, "Oh my God, no!"
Sorry, what did I claim? What did I claim?
I mean, when I say something and the proof isn't so likable by you, you just go ahead and jump into not having proof. But
no, I'm just teaching you about your own argument, right? Because you're butchering your own mainstream arguments. So I'm having to go to Google and educate you on what
pressure
your own mainstream says.
Without a container. Pressure does exist without a container. A difference in pressure.
Okay,
a difference in pressure requires a container.
Okay, so the thing in question here is the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so that's the thing in question. So let's not use the thing in question as the example. Let's use a different example. Okay, so can you give me a single example of how you can have gas pressure without a container? Okay, because I can back up myself, right? Obviously, a balloon, a car tire, a soda can, every single situation where you have pressure that's above atmospheric pressure, you're going to have a container. Right, to have a static pressure system.
A difference in pressure requires a container. Look, when you fill a tire with air, Yes, a difference in pressure requires a container.
Yeah.
Okay?
Any pressure.
Pressure always
Any
exists.
pressure. Yeah, any
Okay,
pressure.
let me say this. Let me say this. When you fill a bottle of water with 2 times the atmosphere of pressure of air, you know,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
the higher you go up from the surface of the sea, the bigger the bottle will get, or balloon, for example, because it's apparent with the balloon. When you go
Right.
higher, outside pressure reduces, the balloon expands. Am I right?
So you need to give an example
So the
that doesn't
outside
require a
pressure, no,
container.
listen. No, this requires a container so you can understand why it doesn't. When you go up, you know, the pressure outside reduces. Does the pressure only exist when there's a container?
You can't
Like
have
when
the pressure in the first place without the container.
look.
That's
I have a bottle of water. It's open. There is no pressure. I close it. Pressure suddenly exists.
no.
It has always existed.
No.
A
If you have a
difference in
bottle,
pressure
if you have a
exists when you
bottle,
have
an empty bottle, if you have an empty bottle,
that's
okay.
full of gas.
Yeah, so you need to give an example that doesn't require a container. So stop using containers in your example.
It isn't intuitive. You know, it's hard to explain because it isn't intuitive.
No, it's completely
anything.
illogical. That's why you can't give a single example that doesn't include a container, because what you're saying is ridiculous and just doesn't.
Okay, I'll give an example.
doesn't match
I
with
figured out
reality.
an example. Okay, I figured out an
Okay,
example.
go ahead. No containers
Water.
allowed.
No containers
No, we're
allowed.
talking about
Water.
gas. We're talking about gas,
Yes.
not water.
No. The water will something will
Water
happen to the
also
water.
requires
Not
a
pressure.
container.
Water pressure.
Bodies of water also require
Okay.
a container.
Calm down. I'll finish. I'm
Yeah, I'm
seriously
pretty
with you.
calm, bro.
Yes. When you boil water at sea level, the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. I don't know if you're American, but 100 degrees for
Okay.
us. When you go higher, above sea level, the water boils at lower temperatures. Now, why is that?
What's that got to do with having gas pressure without a container?
Exactly. It takes less particle movement for the water to escape.
So none of that.
Okay, because there is less
Okay, so
outside
without
pressure.
a container, none of that pressure is going to be above the pressure surrounding it.
What?
If you want, if
The
none
pot
of
is
none
open.
of the pressure,
An open pot of water.
none of the pressure is going to be higher. None of the pressure is going to be higher than the surrounding pressure, unless you have a container to create a gas pressure
What's the container?
system.
Where's the container?
What are you talking about? We have the antecedent of the container, gas pressure, right? We read the definition of gas pressure. That's like saying.
I just gave you an example, and you're just
like me
throwing
eating
buzzwords.
It's like I have like a steak, a beef steak, and you're like, "Where's the cow? Where's the cow? Yeah, how can you prove that's a beef steak? You know, how can you prove that came from a cow? Where's the cow? We got the beef steak, dude. We have the prerequisite."
Listen.
Like, I don't need to
what
know
do
where
you
your
say
parents
about
are.
this example I just provided?
I don't know. I
This-
don't need to
this
know
example
where
I
your
just
parents
provided.
are, or what size they are, or what
Why are you
skin color
dismissing
they
my
have.
example?
It's a dumb example. I'm just pointing out the.
It's a real example. Why
flawed
does the
logic.
water boil at a lower temperature when we go higher? Why?
What does that have to do with gas pressure without a container?
Because there is lower pressure. The decrease in pressure, in atmospheric pressure, is what causes the water to boil at lower temperature.
So to have pressure in the first place, you need to have a container, and we already agreed
What
that
container?
we
Where's
don't
the
want to.
fucking container? What the fuck?
Yeah. So
where's the container in my example?
Well, you don't have a container.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have a container.
I'll just put it to you
Yes,
this
I don't
way,
have a container.
right?
And
We
the pressure
live in a
affected the water.
we live in a gaseous pressurized system, right? Does
Exactly,
gas
yes.
expand? Yes. Does gas expand to fill available volume?
It does.
Right, and we're being told that the Earth has air, right? A gaseous pressurized system surrounding it, right, allowing us to breathe, while there's an available separate system of volume right next to it, which is essentially infinite. Listen, which is essentially infinite, which the gas is failing to expand into, and that there's no physical barrier in between those two systems. Right.
I mean,
that's what we're being
it would be
told.
funny if there was something called gravity, you know?
Oh, really?
Yes, gravity.
Okay.
Gravity is what holds the air down.
Oh, really? So gas has a downward bias, does it? Gas particles have a downward bias?
Does gas have mass?
Does gas have a downward bias? Don't answer a question with a question.
Yes, I will answer your question. Gas has mass, Therefore, it has the force of gravity affects it. But
Okay,
since
what's the
gas,
definition of gas particle movement?
the behavior of gas within gas is different than what you're trying to explain. Water, does water flow up or down inside water? Does
No,
it fall inside water?
You can no. Listen, bro. When did anybody test gas to see what it does without gravity?
In space or in a falling airplane, 0G airplane?
Oh, God.
What? You don't believe in space, so I gave you the 0G airplane.
What about the
That is
zero G
the
airplane?
that is the supposed to be the result of gravity, right? So that's not outside of a gravitational system that you're
You
claiming
can't leave a
exists.
gravitational system. Even astronauts
Right.
are still
So
affected by 90%
these
of Earth's
laws,
gravity.
these laws and definitions were developed long before they ever decided to use an aircraft to do a parabolic flight. I'm sorry, this was decided what gas does, right, on Earth. That's where these laws were developed.
Okay, you're
On
saying
Earth
gas doesn't
through
have a downward bias.
experimentation and observation of gas behavior. Right? Nowhere in any of those laws is the letter G, right? And as DJ's pointing out to you, right? The definition, kinetic theory, says that gases don't have a directional bias, that they're omnidirectional and they'll move in any direction in a straight line until they collide with something, right?
Yes,
And they will expand
absolutely, because their
indefinitely to
speeds
fill
are far
any
too high to be
vessel.
affected by gravity. Now listen, when
No,
you
no,
pull
no
water
gravity. No,
inside of water,
kinetic theory
but
emits gravity.
no, it doesn't, my man.
Yes, it does.
Gases
Okay,
are
we'll just
inside
show you
gases.
citations that it does. We'll show you.
My man, it doesn't.
Why don't you go get the definition of kinetic theory for us, post it in the side chat, and show us where it says that gravity is accounted for.
It isn't, because it's negligible. It doesn't say it doesn't exist.
Oh, right. Thank you. It's negligible.
So negligible. So negligible that gas particle movement is defined by rapid, constant, and random motion in straight lines.
Okay. Can I just understand something? I'm really confused. Do you say that gravity doesn't affect gases?
There's no such thing as mass attracting mass gravity, like you believe in your imaginary globe.
You, anti-globalist, you are attracted to the Earth. Okay,
no,
is
I'm
that
not.
right? Just no.
Incorrect.
You fall down. No, like I'm just saying you.
Yeah, I'll
you
sink
fall
through
down.
the air. Yeah, I'm more dense than the air. I'm not a helium balloon.
No, this isn't density. This
Yes,
is absolutely
it is.
not density.
Oh, really?
Absolutely not density.
Are you saying that I'm not more dense than the air?
No, the density difference between you and the air is absolutely negligible.
What?
Okay, if you are look, if you are denser than the air, if you are denser than the air, it still doesn't mean you will fall down. What's the law of density that
did you not play with density towers?
I absolutely know what density is. It's mass divided by volume.
Yeah,
okay?
so if something's more dense than the surrounding medium, it's going to sink through the medium.
Yes, but why will it sink?
Why will it sink?
Because it wants to?
No, because a force was exerted on it to displace it and lift it up. Nothing falls without being lifted up first in one way or another.
Ships floating in the sea. Why is the water going beneath them? Okay, why is that? Why is the water?
Yeah. Okay. Because
yes.
So if you crunch the materials of the ship up into a ball, it's just going to sink right down to the bottom of the ocean.
No, that's not what I said.
It's because of the
Yes, go ahead. It's because of the.
Yeah, it's a buoyancy density relationship. It's like Archimedes' principle. It's called specific gravity. Yeah, so you just denied that.
No, I didn't deny that. So why does the water want to go beneath the ship and lift the ship up? Why doesn't the water go above the ship? I mean, it sounds stupid. Yes, I know it does, but humor the argument.
Yeah. Okay. So because if you get something that's more dense than the water, right, it's just going to sink through the water. Let me give you an example. Okay, if we get a
I
glass.
Understand. Yes, if you have a ball of steel and you throw it in water,
I'm going to give you an example. It's a more simplified example. Okay, and it's going to prove my point. Okay, if we get a glass of fresh, if we get a glass of fresh water and we get an egg, okay, and we put the egg into the glass of fresh water, it's going to sink through the fresh water down to the bottom of the glass. Now, I think that that's because of the density of the water and the density of the egg. Now, I can vary and manipulate the density of the water without touching the egg. So if I add some salt into the water, I've changed the density of the water, and now that same egg that was more dense than the water is going to be less dense than the water, and it's now going to go upward. So I've changed the direction that the egg goes
That's absolutely
in
true, what you just
by
said.
varying and manipulating the medium, which is my claim.
Okay, yes, but you still didn't answer the question of the egg goes into the water that is less dense, so the egg sinks. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the egg sink? Why didn't they both just float in the air? What pulled it down? What pulled it down? What caused it?
It's no.
Okay, wait a second. Do you know Newton's second law?
Hold on. You asked me a question. You asked me a question, but then you don't.
Connection. I think which pulls it down.
Okay, listen, just one second.
Affinity to the ground.
Hey, bro, don't ask me a question and then interrupt me as soon as I start to answer the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, so nothing just falls by itself. Okay, it needs to be displaced first. So if I didn't exchange my energy to force that egg out of its place of rest, right, it would never move. Okay? It's only going to move because I've input kinetic energy into that, right? I've given it potential energy, and it's just going to re-seek equilibrium based on the density relationship with the surrounding. What's potential energy? It's the force that I input into it. It's kinetic energy, right? It's like if I push a tennis ball under the water, I'm giving that tennis ball kinetic energy.
You put force into pushing it downwards. When you push it downward,
yeah, I have to exchange energy to force it down into the water. Okay, and then it has kinetic energy, and then it's going. Huh?
You love quoting laws, second law of thermodynamics and stuff. So I'm
I do like quoting laws.
Second law,
you like butchering. Butchering laws.
No, bear with me. Humor me for a second. Newton's second law of motion. Okay, it states that the acceleration on an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it, and inversely proportional to the mass. I even read it to you, so you don't say I butchered it or anything. What does it state? It states that acceleration is proportional to the force. Nothing will accelerate if it doesn't have a force acting upon it. Okay?
That's what I said. I said it would never move
unless
I applied a force to it.
What's the force? What's the force actively acting on the egg to accelerate it downward? No.
It's okay. So I applied the force to the egg.
Do you know what a force is?
I displaced the egg. Yeah, I applied. I displaced.
That's work. You did work to the egg. You didn't do a force. There's a difference. A force is active.
Yeah.
The egg is actively accelerating. Therefore, there is an active force.
How do you get work?
Force times distance.
So you need force. You idiot.
Yes, that
was just a stupid thing to tell DJ. When you know that work requires force, he said, no, there was no force. Let's work. He applied force and worked, for work.
He applied work to it.
Yes. And how do you get work? How do you get work?
How do you get work? Force times distance.
Force. Yes, so thank you. Right.
No, thank you, because you said nothing.
He did apply force to it.
You literally said nothing. Okay,
so where'd the force come from? Then that was required?
Where did the force come from? When? At what moment? When it's falling? When it's
for it to up? Be lifted up. For it to be lifted up. You're trying to say that DJ lifting it up is not applying force, it's applying work. Yet you need force to get work.
I don't think you guys really understand what force is. Okay, can I give an example?
It's a direct physical push or pull.
Okay, I'll give an example. Okay, thank you. That's a good definition. But imagine you have a very heavy table and you put your hand under the table and release it. It's hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not going to move unless you displace it. It's never going to move.
Yes, but let me continue. It isn't about moving.
It. Okay.
Yes, no, but it isn't about moving. With your hand under the table and it's pressing on your hand, it's actively causing pain to your hand. What's pulling the table down? What's actively pulling it down and pressing it on your hand? What's doing that?
Its own weight.
Which is its mass times the gravitational acceleration of the Earth.
No, there's no gravitational. Okay, so
That's the definition of the weight.
if you're talking about little g, that things fall at 9.81 meters per second squared approximately in a vacuum, we can agree on that. We can agree that's an observed effect. If you want to claim the cause of the effect, right, then that's when you're going to run into problems. What's that?
What's that number? Where did we get 9.8? No.
It's just an observed effect. It's an agreed upon average. Yeah, so things don't fall at that rate. Okay, it's an agreed upon average. It's an approximation. It was a bunch of scientists got together, and because the numbers were all over the place, they decided to agree on 9.81 meters per second squared. Right? It's inconsistent, but it's an agreed upon average. Now, I agree that happens. When you drop something in a vacuum, it falls at approximately that rate. But you know what it doesn't happen with? Gas. Yeah, that's a big problem for you,
because gas
right?
is inside gas, like does water fall inside
gas
water?
Is inside?
No. Yes.
What do you mean gas is inside?
You are comparing gas to gas.
What?
You are surrounded by gas. You are fully surrounded by gas. How can you see gas
and
falling?
It's a very light medium.
Yes.
So anything that's more dense than it's going to sink through it if you pick it up and drop it into the light medium.
Like yes, absolutely. But sinking, what causes sinking? Something pulling you down. What causes floating? Because the water is heavier and it's pulled down more than you, and it won't allow you to get below. Okay.
Right. So on a globe, you need to have nothing's pulling. Right. It's just
then how is anything falling? Yes, the density relationship requires a gravitational pull.
Because we're not on a globe in outer space. We live in
a flat station.
We live in a flat stationary contained system, and we don't need to have mass attracting mass. You need to have that because you claim that you've got a ball that's spinning through space that has oceans stuck to the outside of it. We don't need to claim.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't need to explain crazy shit that defies logic and common sense and natural laws.
Isn't
right? You need to explain how you can have gas pressure around a spinning space ball in a vacuum. We don't need to explain crazy shit that makes no sense like that. We can easily explain why things rise or sink just due to relative density. We can explain the physics of water just due to common sense and real-world testing. We can back up everything we're claiming. You can't back up anything you're claiming with a real-world scientific
experiment. Everything I'm claiming is backed up by a logical process. But
so you're saying that
literally everything, every single thing.
Okay.
But I just don't recall all the logical processes.
Okay. All right, so where's your proof that water is curving over distance due to gravity?
I'm not going back to that point.
Where's your scientific test? Where's your scientific test? Okay, so where's your scientific experiment showing that gravity is causing gas particles to be pulled down towards the Earth?
Because gas particles have mass.
No, we went over okay, so why does the definition, the mainstream definition of gas particle movement say that they don't do that they just go in random in all directions and move in straight lines? So if a gas particle is going up, it doesn't get pulled back down.
I'll tell you. Because they move at speeds which cause the acceleration of the Earth to be negligible. They move at insane speeds, gas particles. They're actually insane.
Yeah, but they don't move down. Meters per second. They don't get pulled down. They don't get pulled down to the Earth.
Now you're conceding. You're conceding to the point.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You're agreeing. You're agreeing with us. You're saying it's negligible. That's why they're doing that. Well, yeah.
Negligible doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
By gravity. It's not being
negligible
affected by gravity.
Mean it doesn't exist, my man.
Okay, so prove it. Prove that gas particles have a downward bias. Go ahead.
Because they have pressure, because air is pressurized here, and it isn't going to space.
Explanations are good and fun.
Right? Okay. You're saying, if the pressure is getting reduced,
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, this is the proof.
This is what I'm saying.
This is the proof.
Right? I'm challenging you on your claim that gas particles have a downward bias. Goes against gas laws, goes against all the definitions of gas particle movement. They do have a gas
bias. It is negligible. It is super negligible, but it exists.
A downward bias, not a gas bias.
Yes, but
that doesn't even make sense.
It's super negligible.
Okay, cool. You can keep chanting that it exists, but you need to be able to demonstrate the claim now.
I can't because it's negligible, my man.
Oh, so you can't prove your claim. So you just want to claim that gas particles are pulled down to the
I mean,
Earth.
you
can't.
claimed that mass-to-mass
So
attraction
who
doesn't
proved
exist,
it?
but you
Who
didn't
proved
prove
it?
your claim.
Like I
Who
said,
proved what?
you are conceding to the point. Can we move on?
What? No, listen.
Thanks for the
No, we're not going to
concession.
move on.
Let's move on. Got any more questions?
Wait, this is a debate. Why do you want to move on?
Well, it's
You
not a debate, bro.
conceded.
This has been us schooling
You
you
said-
on every point for about 3 hours, right?
You said mass-on-mass
is not a
attraction
debate.
doesn't exist, but you didn't provide any proof. You just said it
You
doesn't.
said it does exist.
Even
You
though
don't
there
have to
are-
prove a negative, bro.
God.
You could say there's like little pixies freaking on the moon, right? And prove it doesn't exist,
no.
right? You don't have to freaking prove that. If you claim it, then you need to prove it. You don't have to prove a negative, right? The person that makes the positive claim.
Literally things falling. Literally things falling proves it. So you say it's
No.
the density difference, but what causes the density difference to cause heavier things to fall? The density difference isn't enough. Density. Do you know what density is?
Yes,
It's mass
It's
We're not
over
making
volume.
a claim about it.
It's
You
really
are.
that.
You're the one making the claim about why.
About what?
So you have
Yeah,
to and then you've just admitted that you can't demonstrate it, that you can't prove your claim.
Dear God.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can prove my claim. I already gave you a demonstration with the egg and varying and manipulating the medium to change the direction that the egg goes
What's the
in.
atmosphere made of? Okay, what's the atmosphere made of? It's made of oxygen and nitrogen. Okay, just those two things.
It's a bunch of gases and pollution and dust.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your point?
Absolutely. But mostly it's made out of nitrogen and oxygen. Okay.
Okay.
What's our bodies made of? They are made of also of a lot of atoms of oxygen, a lot of atoms of nitrogen. Okay, how come we are attracted downwards? We have a downwards bias, but air doesn't.
You're not a gas. You're not in gas form.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, the state of matter doesn't matter. A heavier gas inside a lighter gas will cause that gas to fall. Haven't you ever seen that?
No. So you can get, okay, let's talk about a heavy gas like SF6, sulfur hexafluoride.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, if we get a fish tank and we fill it up with SF6, you'll come back about 2 hours later and all of that SF6 is gone. None of it's going to be held down by gravity. Diffusion's going to take place, and it's just going to blend in, right? And you're not going to have any of that heavy gas left in the tank, right? It doesn't remain.
It doesn't mean that it wasn't attracted by gravity.
No, the gas particles don't have a downward bias. They're moving at random in all directions.
What kept it in the gas ball? What kept it in the gas ball?
It doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay there.
It did stay there for you to see.
Do we have a homogeneous or inhomogeneous atmosphere? What's the atmosphere? Homogeneous or inhomogeneous?
What's the atmosphere? It's homogeneous.
It's homogeneous. So all mixed up together.
Yes.
Right.
General atmosphere, yes. What? Thanks. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yes, heavy gases.
Mixed up.
All downward.
So you have heavy gases amongst lighter gases, all mixed up together.
I'm telling you, when they are all mixed up, it doesn't matter. It becomes negligible, the gravity, because of all the collisions. But when you have a large
gravity
amount
didn't
of heavy
stratify
gas,
them then, did it? So gravity didn't stratify them, did it?
What are you saying? Stratify
You're
what?
claiming there'd be stratification.
What's that word?
So layered.
The atmosphere.
Inhomogeneous. So you'd have a layer of this type of gas, then go up. There'd be another layer of that type of gas, go up. There'd be a different type of gas. But it's not like that. It's all mixed up together.
Too violent and
gravity is not stratifying them like that would have to be if what you're saying is true. Doesn't happen.
I mean, have you ever heard of wind?
It mixes up together.
Storms and tornadoes.
So you're describing what you're actually describing is a very temporary relationship between a less dense and more dense gas, and the more dense gas is going to move much slower, but over time diffusion takes place, just like DJ described, and it spreads out into its available environment. Wherever there's gaps for a gas molecule to go, it will go there. Nothing's going to pull it down and stop it.
Flat earthers are born from the back hole, the booty hole. I think that's the conspiracy, and it's true.
What?
So we can give you gravity, sir. We can give it to you, and still observably, it's not affecting the dispersion of gas.
I mean, you do realize there are experiments that prove mass attracts mass.
Yeah, okay, grab me a huge ass vacuum chamber and insert just the smallest amount of gas into it and show me how it's all settling at the bottom, leaving an open vacuum at the top. Go, show me.
No, I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you this.
It doesn't happen.
Yes, because gases move at speeds that make gravity negligible.
That's why outer space, that's why the sky, as you've been taught, doesn't exist as a near infinite, ever expanding volume of emptiness.
Why does air pressure reduce when we go up?
With a
Why does
pressure
air pressure
of 10 to
reduce
the
when we
negative
go up?
17 torque. Doesn't exist. All right. If the sky was
Okay,
that,
listen.
the gas we breathe would disperse into that available volume. Hands down, guaranteed, no
You are
questions
right. You are
asked, because
correct.
that's
Okay, listen to me.
entropy, and nothing violates the laws of entropy. Nothing.
You are right. Now listen. Why does gas pressure reduce when we go up? Why? People climbing Mount Everest have problems breathing. They take oxygen masks because there is no air. Well, where's that
They
air?
take
It's down.
oxygen tanks. So
Yes,
there's
yes,
just another
oxygen tanks.
example of gas pressure requiring a container, because you're not going to be able to carry it up in a bucket.
No, listen. It's not about that. It's about why isn't there air at the top of Mount Everest? Why is it less dense?
There is. There is air
breathe?
at the
Why
top
can't
of
they
Mount
breathe?
Everest.
Why can't they breathe?
It's very low pressure and it's very cold.
Yeah, we went over
It's
this.
very low density as well. There is
Yeah, we
much
went over
less
this
air.
earlier because, yeah, obviously.
No, but we didn't complete it.
Because the
we didn't
gas,
go with it
we
because
live
kept
in a
jumping.
we live in a dynamic system, okay, and the gases are constantly being produced at ground level.
Okay, if gases are constantly being produced at exact points, all the gas would just shoot up. Okay.
Why would it?
If you're
Why
saying
would it
that
shoot
gas
up? Why would it
go
shoot
into
up?
the
Gas-
vacuum upwards? There's a vacuum
No, there's
outside.
no vacuum. You're the one claiming. You're the one claiming a vacuum.
No,
I
listen.
told you to have gas pressure. Shush, just for a second. I didn't claim a vacuum. You think there's a space vacuum. Okay, that's scientifically impossible.
Let's
Let me
humor
finish.
your
No,
idea.
hold on. You gotta chill out for a second, bro. Okay, I didn't claim that there's a space vacuum. You claimed that there's a space vacuum. I claimed that we live in a contained system, and then I went and read the definition of gas pressure, which said that the requirement to have gas pressure is a container. And then I read out the definition of gas particle movement, which says that gas particles move at random in all directions.
Okay, you say gas moves from high pressure to low pressure, which this is agreed upon. We don't need to argue this. Am I right? Am I right?
High pressure to low pressure.
Okay, great. You can see it. We'll move on.
Yeah. Yes, it's what happens all the time. Right? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
No need to argue that.
Concession.
Okay. The pressure at the top of Mount Everest is lower than the pressure at sea level. Why doesn't the air just climb up the mountain and go there?
It is. How do you think it got there?
What? It doesn't. The pressure
How
at
do
the
you
top of
think
Mount
the air
Everest.
that's there? I said, is there no
It's
air or is
lower
there some
pressure.
air there? Is there
It's
air
lower
there
pressure.
or not? Is there air
Why
at the
is
top of
it
Mount Everest?
for-
Is there
There
air
is,
at the top of
and
Mount
it is
Everest?
lower pressure.
Right.
There
so
is air
it
on
did
the
do what
moon,
you
my
told.
man.
It did
There is air
do
everywhere.
what you're saying then. Then it did do what you're saying then, didn't it?
No, it should do so until the pressure equalizes. That's what air does. Entropy.
Why?
You say.
Why? Why should it?
Entropy. Because entropy, things go from high pressure to low pressure until they stabilize.
Do you know
right?
the difference?
That's why.
You know
why
the difference. We're not talking about a static system or a lab setting.
It's
we're
a
talking
dynamic
about
system. Yes,
We're
absolutely.
talking about a
Yes.
complex dynamic system that has constant energy within the system and constant cycling. Okay, so it's not a static system, so you're not going to have the same thing, right? You're going to have the dynamics of the system taking over. The energy is going to be shifting things around. We have a extremely complex dynamic system where we have constant gas production at ground level. And
then you
welcome,
have the
Emperor's
available volume
Child.
above
Good to
it.
see
That
you.
is,
Hold on just a
it's
second.
spreading
Just want to
out
welcome
into,
someone.
right?
Just want to welcome someone. Welcome back, Emperor's Child. We had an awesome chat with Emperor's Child the other day.
Hey.
Hey, everyone.
So, man.
I mean, you didn't really prove the point, because you said air moves from high pressure to low pressure. A tire popping,
Yeah,
the
and
air
it
will
is, and
escape
it's
the
doing
tire.
that. It is doing that.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The pressure is
Yes,
still
it
lower.
is.
Let's say you pop a
No,
tire,
you
but
agreed.
the air stays in
If
the
it
tire.
wasn't doing that, then
Why does
hey,
it?
listen. If it wasn't doing that, then there wouldn't be any air at the top of Mount Everest. But there is, so it is doing that. It's just doing it in a manner which is going to be affected by changing variables within the system. Constantly
temperature.
changing, just as DJ just described. And you have cycles which take place. So there's different things happening at different altitudes, causing matter to change state. Right, and then it's being recycled, coming back to the ground, then being generated back into gas, going back up, and that's a continuous process. And there's if you could think of this, right, a kettle that's boiling, at its spout is going to be the greatest pressure, and as the steam expands out into the available volume, the pressure of that steam is going to decrease. And it's going to reach points where it's going to recondense back into liquid, fall back down, and then you could start the process all again.
Absolutely, you are correct. But what's this process? Why is there a gradient that goes up? Why is there a gradient upwards? Why is the air up different than the air down?
Because you have a temperature gradient
in that axis. Yes, what causes
you have
that
a temperature gradient?
What causes the temperature gradient is the difference in density and pressure. And the difference in density and pressure.
What causes the temperature gradient is the fact that it's affected by an external source.
Temperature gradient.
Huh?
Hey, Faisal, does the sun produce energy and push energy out? Yes or no?
Heaps of energy. Absolutely.
Excellent. Does it heat the ground up?
What?
Does it heat up the ground? Yes or no?
It does.
Excellent. So wouldn't that energy get imparted onto the air?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Now you know how come your system's changing. Good boy. Thanks for playing.
Okay. The air is getting hotter, therefore it will go up. So the air should keep getting hotter and go upwards. Why is it still down? Why is the air concentrated at the sea level and not up?
Because it's produced at sea level.
When it goes up?
It's getting further away from the heated ground.
Matter cannot be created.
I mean, if air is produced at sea level,
okay, Faisal, yeah, breathe, bro, breathe. You can do this. The sun heats up the ground. Okay, why is this idiot just keep saying maths cannot be created? Shut up. Right, the sun heats up the ground. We're all happy with that. The ground pushes that energy onto the air. The air rises, and as it gets further away from the ground, it cools off. You wanted to know how it cooled off? Very simple. Because it's further away from the ground. Don't believe me? Go and grab yourself a cigarette lighter. Light it, hold it 2 foot away from your left hand. Then put your left hand on top of it. Notice how it gets hotter as you get closer to it? And cooler as you get further away. Exactly the same.
The air is colder than it. Not because of the altitude.
No, because of the heat source.
No, look.
Yes. If you've got a heat source, it's highly probable that that's where the heat's coming from. As you get further away from your heat source, it is going to get cooler.
You will feel
if you can't see that, you've got some major issues going on, bro.
No, you're not letting me continue. When you leave away from the heat source, you will feel less heat.
It gets cooler. Exactly.
No, listen, for God's sake.
I am listening. It's you that's not understanding. You're repeating the same thing to me and then getting some other random idea out of it. You have a heat source, the sun. The sun heats up the ground heats up the air. Do you still follow?
Okay, so when he gets angry...
Excellent. So the air gets heated up by the ground. Excellent. Do you understand that? Yes or no?
What's your point?
My point is, you're the one that's fucked up. So the air gets heated up by the ground, yes? The hot air rises, goes up and up and up, gets further away from the ground, then goes cold again.
That's it. To go colder, just because it got further away?
Because it's further away from the ground.
It doesn't just disappear.
It's further away from the ground.
Listen. Where did the energy go? It doesn't just disappear.
Air can't store it. Air can't store it.
Why? Air can't store it. Where did it go?
I don't know. Why is the sky blue? Who gives a fuck? Got nothing to do with the shape of the ground.
I mean, you guys give a fuck. You guys keep coming up with stuff.
No. This is you coming up with stuff. All we can tell you is the ground is measured as flat. What you make of anything else outside of that, looking at the star, the moon, the suns, trying to prove gravity by proving air goes down when it's constructed and formed and everything at ground level, well, holy shit, it's going to be at the ground. I couldn't imagine why to be anywhere else.
I mean, I give you like 1,000 proofs that the Earth is a sphere, and then you give me one.
You haven't given anything. I can tell that, and I haven't even been here.
And then you just.
So your proofs are what? Let's just go through these. What's your best proof? The one that's going to the best one. I don't give a shit about all the other stuff. The very best one that I'd sit back and go, you know what? He's got me. What's your best one?
You can go out after sunset, look at the sky, and you will see satellites.
And look at the sky. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Fasok, hold up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm going to go outside, I'm going to measure the ground. And my good friend here is telling me to look at the sky. That just shows the level of global we get to deal with.
No. Listen to me. Let me continue. When you go out after sunset or before sunrise, you will be able to see satellites. Now, how can satellites exist on a flat Earth? Meanwhile, I can fully explain how satellites work on a sphere, fully, in detail.
Why do I have the necessity to explain how flying devices work over your straw man? The ground is measured with zero curvature. So I don't give a shit what your satellites do. Not a me problem.
Well, face
okay, give me numbers.
No, wait.
Okay, I'm ready.
Explanations. Explanations are not evidence. Right?
I'm ready for some numbers.
The explanation is the claim, which requires evidence. If you don't have that, we're not required to give you an alternative explanation.
I've seen proofs with my own very eyes. I've seen proofs with my very own eyes that the Earth is a sphere.
Okay. Yeah.
Which are the satellites orbiting us, the television
that's
dish
the claim.
capturing waves.
You're just repeating the claim. You're repeating the claim.
You want to see a video of satellites hovering above the sky?
No, I don't need a video. Okay, so something passed over your head at night, right? That's great.
It looks like a star, but isn't.
Okay. Yes, and then you're making a claim about it that goes beyond your observation.
It isn't a claim.
You're repeating the story that gives you a reason why that thing passed over your head and how it's doing it, and some sort of visualization or in your head, right? Not in reality, of its full length path, that being a full circle around a sphere.
When you really go and
go over my
understand
head at night.
how satellites
doesn't mean they're going around a ball.
You will know that they can never possibly go around a flat Earth.
How do they work? Well, tell us how they work.
They are okay. I'll tell you. It's no problem. But I need to explain with a hypothetical. Okay, if you shoot a cannonball,
you're gonna tell us how they work for real.
Yes, I'm going to explain. Okay, give me a step by step. I just need to explain some fundamentals.
I want actual real stuff you're going to tell us that I can go
I need to tie it to an example that you'll be able to understand.
Don't repeat the story again. Give us the evidence.
Evidence. I'm telling you. You asked me to explain how they work, and when I start, you go tell me to shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you?
We're asking you to back up your claim. We already know the claims. You're not teaching us anything. We want you to demonstrate your claims because we claim that your claims are bullshit.
Okay. I want you to explain how do satellites work on a flat Earth, because I know how they work on a spherical Earth.
It's not our job.
Well,
you don't know how they work.
Fasok, something for you to think about. You're told a story on how they work on a spherical Earth.
Not a story.
You're not told. Why are you talking? You're told. There's no logic in it. That's what we're trying to tell you. You're going from point. Shut up. You're going from point A to point D, and you're not giving us the in-between. So let's work this out. The satellites are up in the sky because they necessitate that it's a globe. When they launch rockets, does it matter a fuck what shape the ground is? Yes or no?
Yes, it absolutely does. They don't.
You're a liar.
Unless it's a globe.
Because the ground, listen, the ground makes no change to the ability to launch a rocket. You stand the bastard up, you light the fuse, foosh, off it goes. That's it.
No, this isn't about rockets. This is about satellites.
Okay,
Satellites are
so straight
in the air.
wait for it. So what we're trying to get out of you is why it's a necessity for it to be a globe. Why must it necessitate a globe in order for your satellites to work?
Do you want me to say it, or are you just going to interrupt me again?
You're the one that seems to be interrupting everyone, and stop with your meta. Just get with the data.
Okay, I'll just tell you. Because satellites use the fact that the Earth is a sphere by rotating around it.
They don't use the fact.
Falling.
That's the story again.
The fact. Wait, what? Yes,
you keep repeating the story. You don't understand. You're the one with faulty logic. We know the story. Satellites are in the sky. They're going around a globe. You keep repeating that. How do you know it's a globe? Oh, I see satellites in the sky.
Listen. Satellites need to be
circular reason. Satellites because globe Earth because satellites.
Energy. Okay, you're gonna spend heaps of energy to keep something in the air. Airplanes spend a ton of fuel to stay up in the air because they don't leave the atmosphere. But satellites who leave the atmosphere and are no longer
don't
under.
Don't
interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. You guys go on to explain with buzzwords what you believe. When I go on to explain, you keep interrupting me.
You're just going to go on endlessly. You need to listen. You don't actually know what's going on at the upper altitudes.
You guys aren't actually listening. I mean, I'm pretty sure none of you have any sense of education on science, and you pretend to be the scientist.
Dude, you're the one that came in here and lied.
You're not here to learn. You're not here to learn.
Came in here.
You're trying to preach your fucking cult belief, right?
You came
we all
in
believe
here.
No, I'm absolutely not. I'm absolutely not.
Hold on a second.
Yes,
this guy came in.
Not listen to anything DJ is trying to teach you.
This is supposed to be
shut
a debate,
the fuck
isn't it?
up, dude. Hold on, be quiet. No, it's not a debate, right? You've been getting wrecked for hours straight. Now, you came in here, and you should have been banned straight off because you bullshitted the whole room, right? I'm going to post your bullshit in the side chat right here, and you admitted that it's bullshit. So don't come in here and tell us what our education level is when you just blatantly came in and lied your ass off about this.
Aerospace engineer.
And then he admitted he's not an aerospace engineer.
I can tell by talking to him he doesn't know anything about, quote, aerospace.
Yeah, we don't really permit bullshit artists in here, bro. Right? So you're lucky that you're even allowed to talk in here after coming in and bullshitting about that.
DJ, check the coat. Man, I managed to rage bait the rage baiter. Hey, kid, we're not rage baiting anyone. All we're informing people of is the fact that... Why did the fucking start of your sentence interrupt the middle of mine? All we're doing is informing people... All we're doing is informing people that the ground is measured as flat. If you want to go and cry about satellites or whatever, go and do it. No one is going to stop you. But go and check the ground out first before wishing and dreaming about things in the sky. Now, something to think about, Fazek. If I come over to your house to fit carpet to your lounge room or living room, I'm not going to be pointing to the light bulb. I'm going to be measuring the fucking floor.
Okay, I see what your point is. It's that you've measured the objects across oceans and seen that they don't actually consistently go down the horizon. That's what I understand.
No, there is no geometric horizon. There is nothing to go behind, right? A horizon is defined as the apparent location where the sky and the ground meets. It's a product of perspective and the current atmospheric conditions that we have on the particular day. That's what a horizon is. Okay, it's not a byproduct of Earth curvature.
Okay, so you're saying that wait, what was it?
There's no curvature.
The experiment.
The surface of water isn't curving. Laser test?
I mean, if you've seen that guy in Egypt, when he did the experiment, he sent a guy from Alexandria to another city in Egypt because that city had an event where no one had a shadow.
Alrighty,
the sun was completely
500 years. 500 years before Jesus, there was a mythical character named Eratosthenes who doesn't have any primary writings that lasted, and there's no proof that he actually did this. But if he did do it, he pre-assumed that the Earth is a globe. right? Just pre-assumed it, wasn't trying to test if it was flat or a globe, right? Then pre-assumed that the sun rays come in parallel. Okay. And then he just did, and then he measured no shadow, right, on one obelisk or stick or well, depending on which version of the story you want to believe. Okay. And then another guy at the same time, 800 kilometers or 500 miles away, or some certain amount of stadia away, right, he measured a 7.2 degree shadow, right? And then he did some math based on the pre-assumptions of the parallel sun rays and the spherical Earth that he pre-assumed, right? And he came up with 40,000 kilometers approximately, okay? And you think that that's measuring the Earth. No, even mainstream education says, even mainstream sources say if...
Why are his numbers consistent with modern experiments?
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't give me a counter argument. You
consistent.
just said shut the fuck up. They are consistent.
Yeah.
They are
Okay, so the
consistent up to
Chinese did the
5%.
same thing. The Chinese did the same
The
thing.
Indians did
right?
the
But
same thing. The Arabs did the same thing.
No,
Modern
they
humans did the
didn't,
same thing.
bro.
I know a person
you
personally
ask
who did the
questions.
experiment.
You ask
I know someone
questions.
personally. Affirmed the consequent. I got the same answer that they did. It's because you did the same thing. I'm going to post something in side chat for you, kid, and I want you to have a good think about it. Eratosthenes. Let's have a look here.
While Matrix is doing that, right? I'm gonna do a test a hypothetical test right now in my house that anyone can do. Okay, I have a flat floor. Okay, I have a light on my ceiling, and then I have a stick under the light, and it has no shadow. And then I put a stick over on the other side of the room, and it has a 7.2 degree shadow. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing that Eratosthenes did. I'm going to assume that the rays from the light on my ceiling are coming in perfectly parallel, and I'm going to assume that my floor is a sphere. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same mathematics that Eratosthenes did, and then I'm going to be able to work out the circumference of my flat floor.
Okay, I understand your logic. You know, that it might be that the sun is like, I don't know, 100 miles up. Like, how far does the sun need to be for that to be accurate? You can do the numbers, you can find the number, but you guys don't. You don't get numbers, you just live on sensationalism.
No, you're the one who's fucking brainwashed. Look in side chat, kid. 27 past the hour.
The side chat is open. I see side chat.
Yeah,
no,
27 past the hour.
Look, guys.
Flatman. Look at Flatman's meme. That's a good one.
The globe Earth, you know, the way that they prove the Earth is a globe is using numbers and experiments.
They assumed it.
But you guys just
okay, basic. That's great. You keep telling us to look, and you won't. Look in the fucking side chat. 27 minutes past the hour. According to Eratosthenes, this table is a ball. Look at the fucking shadows. They're all different lengths.
Yes,
that's the same shit.
Yes.
Why?
Because the light bulb is right above them. You know.
What the fuck do you think the sun is? It's just a light bulb.
Work then.
No, the light bulb isn't.
It's a concession that it can work. All right.
Kilometers away.
Okay, now you've made another claim. Sorry, Tito. Now you've just made another claim. The sun is X distance away. How have you measured that to verify that it's true and correct?
The rays of the sun are parallel through the clouds.
Yep, that's something else. We're not talking about that. We just asked you how you got the distance to the sun.
You measure it from 2 points.
You're
they did it. The rock did it.
You measure it.
I really don't remember how they did it.
You don't know. It's okay. You don't know.
Nah, I don't remember.
So, but you do concede that it's. You can see that the concept works on a flat surface, right?
Yes, if the light of the source of light is near the surface.
If the light, so if you make assumptions about the light source, right, we got it. Okay, so it doesn't prove either.
How does night and day work?
By the way, you mentioned that they proved it lots of different ways, right? Do you know how they didn't prove it? They didn't prove it by measuring the surface. They didn't measure the surface of the Earth to be curving.
I mean, if I can ask you one thing, where are you from?
Why has that never been done?
It's related.
Why has that never been done, Faisal? Why has it never been done, Faisal?
He's from Spain. Can't you tell by his Spanish?
No, I want to know, Faisal,
Okay,
why haven't they ever measured the curvature of the Earth?
They did.
No, they haven't. Give us an example of when they actually measured directly the surface of the Earth to be curving at a rate of 8 inches per mile squared.
Being in an airplane, I guess.
No, give us the
when you fly an
method
airplane,
and
you
the
can no longer see
instance.
Paris
Give us
going
the
to New
people,
York.
give us the date, give us the details of how they measured directly the surface of the Earth to be curving at a rate of 8 inches per mile squared.
Okay. I don't have it on me right now. I mean, you're asking for proof, and I don't have it
because
on
it
me.
hasn't been done, Faso.
It has been
That's
done
what we're
a
trying to
million
tell
times,
you.
actually.
Oh,
They
sorry,
haven't done it.
Hold on. Yes, they have a million times actually. Okay, could you just get us one of those million times? Being as you're so sure that the curvature of the Earth has been done so many times, could you just get us one out of those million, please?
Okay, I will just hold on for a second.
Thank you. And please, we're asking for direct measurements of a rate of change of slope over the surface of the Earth. Not getting in an aeroplane, right? Not Aristophanes, backwards engineering, his presupposition, direct measurement. You said it's been done millions of times.
It's been done actually a million
I'm going
times.
to challenge you to provide
There's a guy
just
on
one.
YouTube. A guy on YouTube does it.
What does he do?
If you mute him, we will kick you out.
Yeah.
You will
Can I
not
ask
be
a
muting
question?
anybody.
Don't mute.
No, you're not. You're going to shut the fuck up, and you're going to get those measurements.
Okay, just can I say something?
No, you're not going to say anything. You're going to get us.
Dude, you're gonna get the stuff.
How does night and day work on the flat Earth?
Excuse me, sir. You need to
get the
those
stuff.
measurements.
I sent the video. I'm not gonna
Get
measure
one of
shit.
the millions of times.
Okay, just so anyone knows, just so everyone knows, the video is called "Calculating the Circumference of Earth."
Oh no, I didn't want that.
Measuring?
Yeah, measuring, direct measurements. I don't want you, for example, to calculate my height. I want you to measure it. You understand the difference,
between
right?
calculating and measuring?
You understand the difference, right? And please don't speak over me because I want you to understand. You understand the difference between measurement and calculation, don't you?
Okay, here's another guy.
Now,
Like
there was a
this. There's
question
million
there.
people.
Do you understand the difference between calculation and measurement, sir? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Good. So I require measurements, not calculations, just so we're clear.
Here's a video.
Okay. In the video, can you explain what's done?
No, I haven't watched the video. You're so urgent.
Right, hold on a minute, right? I'm asking you for direct evidence and you're showing me videos that you haven't watched.
That's what you guys did. You keep showing me videos.
I'm asking you to provide the evidence of your claim. And now you're providing us with a video that you have not watched. If I was to question you on your evidence, you wouldn't be able to answer any questions, would you?
Show me evidence that your hand exists.
No, don't deflect
that's what you're
away
asking
from
for.
me.
That's
this
what you're
is
asking for.
dishonest. You made a
But
claim.
that's what you're asking for.
My friend.
You're telling me, show me evidence.
Talk through me.
You do
made a
that to me,
claim.
though.
Hold on. You made a claim. Millions of times the curvature of the Earth has been measured. I asked you for just once, and every single time I've asked you to provide for that evidence, you've deflected away, and now you want to ask me a question. Just provide the evidence of your claim, sir.
I provided evidence.
No.
I didn't watch the video. It was explained to me in school, so I believed it then. And then I watched videos of debunking flat Earth, and I believed those too.
Okay.
So I don't have what you're exactly asking for. You're interrupting me.
So in the video, what was done that you were explained to at school, and how is this measuring the surface of the Earth?
I didn't watch the video. You asked for a single
Dude, you said it was explained to you at school.
If you didn't watch the video, face off. If you didn't watch the video, how the hell do you know that there's even evidence in there or proof in there if you didn't watch it? Because the title said so. You looked at the title that says Measuring Earth's Curvature. How do you know at the end of it, it wasn't an absolute balls up event and he's gone, oh, well, that didn't work?
Actually, what happened is he admitted in the first, I would say, minute that we were measuring a flat Earth, and then he said we will be calculating. So it was a calculation, and he's measuring a flat Earth. You really hosed yourself there, Chief. Good job.
You're so scared
I've
of math,
watched.
aren't you?
No, not scared of math. We're just understanding the difference. And you said you understood the difference between measurements and calculations. You provided us with a video that you haven't watched, and within the very first minute, he's talking about measuring a flat Earth and calculating a circumference. Please, sir, you're not doing very well, and I will lose my patience if you lie to us or are dishonest again.
I don't have an evidence in my pocket of what you're exactly demanding me. Show me evidence that the United States exists.
Excuse me.
What? Like, what exactly are you asking for? No, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. What is this? You can interrupt me, but I can't interrupt you.
You said millions. I'm asking you for one, and you're failing.
I keep trying to make a point, but you just drag me into your swamp.
No, wrong. You're not trying to make a point. You made a very specific claim that there is millions of evidence. All Jedi wants is one, and you haven't even provided that. You keep providing calculations.
We've got another guest that's much more reasonable and calm than you are. So unless you are planning on conceding that, number one, you don't actually have access to any measurements of the surface curvature, and two, you don't know what you're talking about, we're just going to move on. Because you're obviously a troll at this point. You came under here under false pretenses. You're obviously an idiot. So why don't you either make a concession or we're going to move on.
Look, I'm not a troll, but you're like asking me for some very specific stuff that I don't.
Yeah, right now I'm asking you for two very specific things. A concession that there are no measurements of the curvature of the Earth on the surface. Number two, you don't know what you're talking about, and you will sit down and listen instead of argue. That's what I want. Those are the two things that I want. Very specific.
I said multiple times, I don't have that stuff on me. You just want.
Okay, so you've ignored me completely. We will move on.